It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of gum.
Now, the kicking ass part is going to be a challenge today. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I guess we just come to do this thing first. Bam! There it is. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. How you doing? I'm here in the afternoon. Why? I don't feel like streaming tonight. I'm gonna do other things this evening. I'm gonna have other things to do with my evening. Hang on a minute. What's my microphone stand doing here? Piece of... Dang it. It's all messed up. Give me a minute. There we go. Sort of. There. Okay. Elgato makes good stuff, but you gotta mess with it from time to time. It is nice. Classic, you're retired. What are you talking about? Third day off. Third day. You don't go to work anymore. Third day off. Third month off for you. What the hell? But yes, you're right. It is nice. Last night, I was sitting up here doing stuff, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get up in the morning, and I got this thing to do, and I was like, wait. Tomorrow's a holiday. Yes, this is amazing. And so, of course, I was up till like 1:30 in the morning. Come on over, Ginger. Come on and say hi. Come on. Classic is mocking me because he's retired, and it's every day is an off day for him now. So, there you go. How's it going, everybody?
Hey, I like being able to have conversations, and I can tag Classic at,
You guys talk all the time. You talk more than I talk to the man at this point. You guys have like a whole sidebar world you live in now. It's wild. It is wild, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, yeah, Memorial Day, guys. Remember, this is something that we have to kind of review every year because I think a lot of people get confused, right? You have Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and there's they're not Armed Forces Day. That's what I'm thinking of. So you have Memorial Day is for those who have given their last full measure of devotion, right? To quote Abraham Lincoln. Armed Forces Day is those who are in uniform at present. And Veterans Day is for those who have previously served and are now retired. Like you, Classic. You lucky bastard.
He didn't retire from the service.
He didn't retire from the service. No, yeah, he did. He retired. He did his time. He retired. He worked, or got out, right? Whatever, he got out. And then he worked like a normal slob for a while. And then he retired from that too. So there you go. That's okay.
Isn't that one of those?
That's a life goal, man. That's a life goal. I gotta live long enough. I've got to not go to jail. I've got to not murder my clients for another 15 years or so. And I'll be fine. It's no big deal.
I'll try and help with that.
The offshore oil and gas world is full of people that make you go, what? So yeah, it's exciting.
Cookie robots.
Cookie robots. I said, why are you so old?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that going on in my life these days. So yeah. Anyways, welcome in, guys. Okay, here's the deal. I have found a new game that I have been addicted to for the last week. It's going to pass. It always does. She can attest. But until then, I have to share it with you guys. If you are a BSG fan, I would implore you to at least pull down the demo. Free demo on Steam. Go check it out. If you are a strategy game fan, to me this has got a little bit of Civ in it. Not in the same way. It's a survival game, but kind of a resource management, crisis management game. Which honestly, now that I think about it, why am I playing a game that reminds me of my job? But it's a hell of a lot more fun than my job. I'll give it that, because here it's like, if I die, well, whatever. We just push the button and we go again, right? Time to go again. What?
Sometimes you just got to roll the hard.
Sometimes you got to roll the hard 6, Commander Adama. So listen, as a BSG fan, I was like, I got to try this game. And then I watched, if you guys remember the Civ streams we used to do, I discovered a YouTuber about 2-3 years ago named Potato McWhiskey. And Potato did a video on this game about 10 days ago. You can go find it on his YouTube channel if you're interested. Except nothing but the rain, Udius. Nothing but the rain. He did a video on this game, and I watched this video, and I was like, this looks like so much fun. And I went home that night, played the demo, and was like, I'm host. So I spent the $20 or whatever it was, bought it, and I've just been like, ever since. So now to set the setting, I gotta set the stage here. If you are a BSG fan, I'm gonna get you. This game does something really awesome. They licensed like the intro and the music from Bear McCreary. It is so choice. So we're gonna set the mood here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even gonna load the game just yet. Actually, I'm gonna come over here. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come over here. It's gonna be a blank screen. You're not seeing anything by design. I'm gonna load the game. You need to see the whole thing from the beginning. YouTube will hate me for this later, but I'll survive. I'm gonna drop myself out here. Let's wait for it to come up. And it crashed. No, it didn't. There we go. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get out of the way. I mean, how can you not love that? That's amazing. That's amazing. Bear McCreary's Lament, the opening theme, is just, oh, so beautiful. And it puts you in the mood. It absolutely puts you in the right setting for this game. So, what they've done, when you play, I'm going to show you all this. Oh, this, absolutely. There's, oh my god, Nightbot. So stupid. Stupid. I apologize, guys, for Nightbot in YouTube chat. I started messing around with that on Friday for something else, and he's still in there. Just ignore him. I'll throw him out at some point, just as soon as I figure out how. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have been playing through my own campaign over here. I'm not going to show you guys this. We're going to go through the tutorial. I'm going to give you everything from the beginning so you understand what's happening. Like, you're coming in totally clean. So we're going to start a new game. And we're going to start, I'm going to take you through the tutorial. I'm going to show you everything. The game opens basically in the miniseries, okay? The attack on the colonies is where we begin. So, you don't want to miss out. Yes, I'm going to restart the tutorial run. Yes, it's fine. It's fine. The intro music of the show is so good. Yes, you get goosebumps every time. That's why this is the one game I won't skip the intro every time. Now, there is a lot of text, not a lot. There's no voice acting. One of the things that I like, if you've ever played the old, if you played BattleTech by Harebrained Schemes, this game has a lot of the same kind of art style, art design, a lot of text, a lot of like what looks like painted art and stuff. It works. It really works. And I have to believe it was done partly for budgetary reasons, but partly because it's efficient and it looks great. I love the art style of the game. So, Caprica has fallen, right? You're watching this all from orbit. That's where the game begins. Where's the colonial fleet? Yesterday, Cylons, nobody had heard of them, and today they're literally wiping us out. So here comes a raider. Help us, help us. All right. Hey, we know this. It's the heroes. We just got here when the nukes started falling. Now they're trying to kill us. Help us. Okay, we got you. So you select, you're giving orders, and he runs in and murders the thing. No big deal. So, your Dratus will always tell you where Cylons are about to spawn, so you can begin to move out there and do the thing. The colonial fleet's getting ruined. This is like the tactical screen. You can always pause this, which is really good, because there's sometimes it gets really gnarly and you're like, what is happening? So being able to pause and take stock and issue orders to your units is a big deal. Because things get pretty creepy later on. This is very simple. So, yep, use the tactical pause to give orders. Yep, attack the enemy. We've done that. We've already issued the order to go get him. You left click on him, right click over here, and he's like, yep, I will go happily murder this raider. And look, he's dead. And now I'm going to go line up for the next one in line, and he'll be dead momentarily. Boom. Okay. Obviously, our goal is to protect the civilian fleet, so it's telling me move back here. Sure. So we've done that now. Awesome. Okay, so now we got a whole bunch of guys coming in. Let's go get them. So every squadron has abilities and special things that, you know, that make it what it is. The Viper's ability is essentially when it murders something, as long as you leave this ability turned on, anything within that little bubble radius, it will immediately search out something and go chase that down and try to murder that too. And then for 5 seconds after it gets a kill, it's got a speed boost, so it can easily go get something. So what's going to happen is you can turn that off, but I have no idea why you would. So we're going to go over here, and so it's going to tell me, great. We're going to do that. Awesome. And it'll automatically attack anything in that bubble radius anyway. It's going to start doing that in just a moment when these guys spawn in. There it goes. And literally, it's kind of fire and forget. I don't even look, ma, no hands, right? So there are times that your units will do smart things without you. But there are times you want to be telling them to do other things, so you got to keep an eye on that. So now I'm over here on the right, Viper's on the right-hand side of the screen, Raptor's coming in. He's going to be over there on the left. Now, he is a long-range unit. So, left-click on this panel. Yep, so what he wants to do is he wants to sit stationary, and he's like a sniper. He's going to pick things off at long range. They're much slower as well, and they have, once they stop, it takes them time for their, like, think of it like an artillery piece, just like this, the way it says. You stop, and then it takes time for the cannon to come back online. So all I'm going to do is unpause now because, see, that's the little timer there doing its thing, and now he's ready to go. Nothing has spawned in yet. But now that they are spawning in, he's just going to immediately start picking them off. There we go. Genius. So the Raptor position is more stationary. They kind of place them, and then they control an area of the battlefield. Yep, always try to position them to cover a wide area. Now defeat the next wave using both your squadrons. Sure. I'm going to leave the Raptor right where he is. Viper will clean up these raiders without much problem. He can just chase them down.
You crazy.
Alan Trevor with the resub. Thank you so much. Okay. And so now you can see where Battlestar is about to pop in. This is about to get very bad. It's very bad. What is this thing? It's your death. It's very, very bad for you. Yeah, this is an enemy capital ship. It's almost impossible to destroy. Although there are achievements for doing that. Good luck. For now, the goal is not to die. So we're going to pull these guys back. And we're going to start this. We're going to unpause. Now, the game will also auto-pause. There are certain events in the tactical screen like this that will trigger auto-pauses. So, like, when your enemy ships start taking damage, when they get low on health, you'll get notifications, and the game will automatically pause to give you a chance to react to what's happening, so you don't get overwhelmed too quickly. You can turn that off. I don't know why you would, but you can. Missiles. Yeah. So he's launching missiles. These can be intercepted, right? Yep, so this is just a homing missile. This guy back here in orange is a nuke. We definitely want no part of that thing either. The homing missiles are much faster. Nukes are at least slower. Yep, both Raptors and Vipers can intercept missiles. The trick is, depending on the missile, nukes are slow enough that Vipers can run them down. But the homing missiles are generally much more challenging. Okay. So, we're going to move... I'm going to move the Raptor up a little bit. I've got 8 full seconds here to get him into position. He's going to be fine. Perfect. I'm going to stop him right where he's at. And let's get this nuke. There we go. Probably could have done a little better with the Raptor there, but there we go. Okay. So now, I'm going to get over here, and I've got a whole bunch of raiders to murder. I'm going to back this guy off just a hair. Because we got 7 seconds. No problem. Sweet. And here's our help. So here's the Colonial Fleet finally here. Comm rings. We are talking now to the civilian ship. And he is freaked out, as you would expect. So... We can't destroy a Battlestar. That's not happening. Gotta hope for a Battlestar. This thing is too small. It's a Gunstar, which always makes me think of The Last Starfighter. I don't know why they chose that name. Okay, so now we've just got to defend them from the various Cylon raiders and shenanigans. Yep. So this is our ship, right? Whatever it's called, this is us, and you don't want to lose this because that's bad. As it says, game over. In the meantime, defend against the small groups on the side. Okay, cool. So I'll go over here then. The Gunstar actually does have some pretty good area of effect weapons. You'll see that in a minute here. Gunstar weapons are now ready. They offer another way to deal with the squadrons and so on and so forth. There are multiple types of weapons, each one with different effects. We've got offensive flak, which is really sexy. So this is, you've seen, if you've watched the show, you've seen them use these flak cannons. Same idea. So what's going to happen is I'm going to click this, and you can see now the prediction. The weapon has a 200 range. These range bands are really helpful. So I'm going to put it right there or so. And it's predicting, telling me where things are going to land. So there's the flat going out. They drive right into it, and boom, no more Cylons. Life feels pretty good. Time to go. We've managed to rescue the civvies, and it's time to go be somewhere else. So, yep, time for a jump. Okay. We're going to pull back to here. I'm going to send this guy out over here. Okay, so in the bottom right now, you're seeing the FTL calc. This is what is normally going to be happening when you're in a battle. You have to defend the fleet for a certain amount of time, and then at the end, when the timer runs out, you've got to get all your fighters back aboard and jump out before you explode. This is a new type of sniper. Yep, they're always... It's not just raiders. There's all kinds of different Cylon squadrons. No one seems to hover them to check their strength and weaknesses. So let's have a look. What does this guy say? He doesn't have a lot of HP. Doesn't hit that hard. He's got crazy range. And so he's artillery. He's the equivalent of... A sniper is an equivalent of our Raptor, basically. Yep, like the Raptor, it can fire slow, long range, but will be weaker at short range and is pretty slow. Stick the Vipers on him, and he will not be around very long. There we go. 30 seconds. Just gotta wait. A lot of waiting in this game, but believe me, it's almost never boring. Okay. My flak is coming in. So I'm gonna have the... Ooh. They're gonna let me launch a nuke? I love it. Forget protocol. We're throwing nukes. Let's go. I love these guys. We're at war now. Okay. Heavy Raiders. They have a lot. Yeah, Heavy Raiders are harder to kill, so they have too much hull for the flak. So, might be the right time to use a nuke. Sure. Get your squadrons out of the way. Yeah, that's good advice. Try not to blow up your own squadrons. That would be bad. We need to deploy the Gunstar. First, we need to make room by undeploying the offensive flak. So, you have different weapon slots over here, but you'll frequently have more than one weapon that you can choose from. So, in the middle of a battle, during a pause, you can right-click to undeploy, and then you can left-click to choose another weapon. That's going to be my nuke launcher. It's coming up here. You need to come back over here. You need to come back here. Okay. That ought to catch him. Booyah! Let's go. Now that you're under 10 seconds, the music will change, and that's your notification that it is just about time to go. Start pulling your squadrons in. I love the audio cues in this game. Here are your squadron docks. So just like weapon docks, your squadrons are here. Sometimes you'll have more squadrons available than you can put in the field at any given time. Right now, you got to get everybody home before we jump out of here. If you jump and you leave a squadron behind, they are destroyed. Doesn't mean you don't lose them forever, but it means you have to pay to repair them. So when you right-click on these squadrons, that's basically giving them the come-home order. They'll immediately try to come back to you, to the base, to your ship. They do that, and then everybody's home. The board is green. Off we go. The mechanics of fighting in the tactical screen are honestly very straightforward. The challenge comes in all the other things they begin to throw at you as the game goes on, as you would expect. In the CIC, the mood is grim, right? Your ship and the few vessels with you seem like the last survivors out of 50 billion souls. Since the attacks, you've been evading the killing spree. You've managed to rescue a handful of small ships, but unfortunately had to abandon countless others. Surviving has been a matter of luck. The only spark of hope left, the tenuous signal of a mysterious beacon. Commander, the beacon's in this sector, but we're receiving serious reports from across the fleet. Immediate repairs are needed if we want to jump again anytime soon. Great. So, Calyx, it's a good notion, right? Like, the Battlestars are huge. They're equivalent of a battleship, right? You've got to have smaller things. And so, they call it a gunstar. We would think of it like a destroyer or a cruiser, to put it in modern naval parlance. It's the same idea. It's a smaller ship that's less capable and less survivable, but still a warship, a proper warship, right? Okay. In between battles, you're in the fleet management screen. So from here, you're going to have all kinds of shenanigans thrown at you. So you'll get these little guys. Certain ships will have situations, right? They'll have some kind of negative impact and a countdown timer. Hovering over the situation will provide information on what's at stake. So I'll put it. So this is telling me the hull is damaged. If for 8 turns, I have the opportunity to spend some amount of supplies to avoid this. If I don't, then the ship will take 200 damage. So provide supplies to the crew to fix it. I can choose that. So great. I'm going to spend the supplies. I'm going to spend the time, and there we go. That's how. So resolving situations is fairly straightforward. Okay, fleet's been through a lot. Some can put the fleet health at risk. So you have 2 bars in the top left. The green one is your fleet health. This is like, you know, Rosalind used to have her little population board, how many humans had survived, right? That's kind of what this represents without being a proper number. One of the ways you can lose is for your fleet health to get to 0. There's all kinds of different ways that can happen. You've also got some different resources up here in the top center that you're going to have to be tracking and in charge of. Yep, we are low on supplies. Supplies, water, food, medicine, all that sort of thing. I'm gonna... should I move myself to the other side? Let's see. I think maybe I should, because there's... Well, no, because... You know what? I'm gonna move... I like having the FTL button in the right, but I like seeing... I'm gonna move all the way over to the right, I think. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'll fix this later. I'll run here for now, but I hate blocking the text. Anyway... Scouting party's looking around for supplies. Let's see what we can find. They found the wreck of a civilian ship. Outstanding. No survivors, but we've got some supplies on the ship we can steal. So the people are dead, but we can loot the ship and get good stuff out of it. You guys remember, of course, Tilium is one of the things that they use to make all these FTL jumps, right? There were refining ships in the fleet, if you recall, the show. So that is something else we have to manage. You have to have Tilium to make jumps and to explore and bring resources back to the fleet, right? When you send your little raptors out to search for things, each one of those jumps takes Tilium. So they call it a point of interest, a POI, in each of the different sectors, but that's what that is. That's fuel. Sector POIs are able to be scouted by your raptors and other ships. They can provide resources. So let's click on this to learn more about it. So there's that cargo wreck they were telling us about. We can find a lot of supplies here, but so we'll go ahead and spend some Tilium. And bring back 7 supplies. Yay! Okay. Every time we do things like that, there is a timer in the bottom right. So, we have 3 situations. So, all situations will be 1 round, 1 turn closer to expiration, at which point something nasty will happen. There are 3 situations expiring in 2 turns. So, one of them is not going to resolve, whatever it is. Journey's about survival. More often than not, you'll have to make difficult decisions. Yes, that is accurate. So we can lose 20 points off our thing. We can lose a little bit of hull off the Gunstar. I think it's more important we keep people alive right now. So I'm going to take both of these heal things, and I'm going to take the damage to the ship. because we can always repair that later, but making more people is a longer process. Okay, so the Gunstar takes some damage because we weren't able to resolve that one. So, Adeldrill, you say roguelike. I've seen that term. What does that mean? This is the first time I've ever played a game like this. Okay, in the hangar, we can manage everything in here. So here's our hangar. So in here, we'll see all our squadrons and weapons on the Gunstar. So every time we blow up a silent, every time we kill things and do well, we get XP on the various squadrons we have access to, and so on. So Adeldrill, that's exactly what this game is, right? And it is what was new about this to me is it's designed for you to fail. Like you will fail 4 or 5 times before you succeed. So yeah, I guess in that sense, it's exactly what it is. But it's, for me, I am a theme guy, right? I am always about the theme. The gameplay can be meh, but if I like the theme that it's built on, I'm a sucker. And so BSG is kryptonite, right? Like, I just love it. Such a great show. So yeah, it's basically like that. You're at the core, we haven't got to this point yet, but the core of the game, I know, right, Striker? So the core of the game is this. Your first jump is away from Caprica with civilians. And if you remember the miniseries, Galactica goes to like that civilian anchorage, right? There's like a hidden anchorage in a nebula or something, right? The premise of the game is you are trying to shepherd whatever ships you can find between Caprica and Galactica, right? So this game entirely takes place in the miniseries of the show. So the mission is and it's 13 jumps. You have to survive 13 jumps from Caprica to Galactica. And every time you jump, you'll be back in the fleet management screen. You've got all kinds of crap. That was it, Ragnar. You've got all these things to deal with, right? And then every time the Cylons will show up, just like they do in 33, right? After a set amount of time, the Cylons will appear. You have to fend them off long enough to spool the FTL and leave. And then when you leave, the whole cycle starts over again. You have to do that 13 times to survive to get to Galactica. And every 4 sectors, every third of the way is a boss fight. And the boss fights are a little more difficult. And that's the short version. But I'm a sucker for theme, and the theme of this is really well done. So as your squadrons level up, you're going to get access to all kinds of cool abilities. Some are passive, some are active. You've got to figure all that out as you go, and you'll discover all kinds of these along the way. It's a ton of fun. So, yep. So you've got the green common, blue uncommon, purple for rare, and orange for legendary abilities. Read carefully and select one of the abilities. I really like I don't think the cannon upgrade's all that awesome, really. The missile launcher can be handy. I'll grab that. You can explore the hangar and look around. When you're done, return to fleet management. So here's the weapon screen, right? I have my offensive flak and my nuke launcher. Those are available. And I have 3 squadrons, but only 2 squadron docks. New CAG really made a difference. This is your XO, who's been with you for a while, because of course she has. Sarine Fernandez. Okay. And we're going to get our chief tech from the civilian ship. Our chief, Yan Vasilenko. Sure. Awesome. So, you start with 3 heroes, and you have up to 7 hero slots. These are the guys that are going to pilot your squadrons, man your guns, repair your stuff, hunt down supplies, etc., etc. Select here for more info. So here you have 3 of them begin the game as it was a mini series. They built it as a mini series, right? And when it was filmed completely separately. So, I mean, they kind of treated it as a pilot in the end, but it was done as a miniseries. I mean, 2 2-hour episodes. So each of these guys, they start with, you have an XO, you have a CAG, and you have a Chief Tech. And each of them comes with some core ability they will always have. Your tech makes your ship upgrades a little cheaper based on their level from 1 to 5, so you always get at least the first level of this bonus. Your CAG makes your squadron weapons hit a little harder per their level, and your XO, if they're manning a weapon on the ship, they make your Gunstar weapons, while they're manning weapons, the ship has damage resistance per level, up to 20%. So as they level up, they'll gain new traits randomly, and so on and so forth. You get to choose those as you go. And then, of course, from here, you can learn all about them and stuff. New opportunity. CAG barges in. First time the CAG is being questioned by the XO. Its beacon's been updated. Could be a trap. No, Arent's convinced it's not. Our CAG is convinced it's not. Okay. So now, as an opportunity, it'll show up down here in the center. Crises and opportunities are kind of the two big things, right? You're going to have crises along the way, and opportunities can sometimes lead to really good bonuses, and crises can lead to really bad things. You don't want those to not... You can fend off crises, but of course you have to expend resources and time doing so, which is always half the fun, right? Yep, you've always got a little window here showing you whatever your current crises or opportunities are. So this is our current opportunity. Retrieve encrypted beacon. So we have the option, generally when you run into these, you have the option to spend supplies or use a hero action, which is this little lightning bolt looking thing. Looks like we're gonna send our CAG out on it. So let's do it. We'll send him out to pick up this beacon. So they bring it back, they analyze it, and here's the report. Just an old data set. By the looks of it, it was used during the Cylon War, the very first one. Yep, 40 years ago was the original war. And then they retreated, disappeared until today. You were right. It has been updated very recently. Can we read the message? Nope. It's encrypted. It's brand new. We're going to have to figure out, we're going to find a new encryption key. Okay, we'll look around. So now the opportunity advances to the next stage, which is okay. They want me to hero this. So as you get XP, obviously, so your heroes can pick up new traits. So let's see, what do we got? This is one of my pilots. So I've got a couple options here. This is if he's assigned to a Gunstar weapon. Probably don't want that on a pilot. I can set it up so that when he goes out looking for Tillium, he brings back an extra one every time. Or I can set it up so that his assigned squadron has more health and is a little harder to kill. I like that idea. Let's do that. Okay. Enter the hangar to assign your heroes. So in here, you can assign the heroes to specific weapons or ships. I'm going to assign my CAG to this Viper. Yep, just like that. The squadron is destroyed. He'll get injured. That's fine. It happens. And in the weapons tab, let's assign the XO to the flat gun. And if the Gunstar sustains critical effects, they'll take... Yeah. Because remember, you can't lose... If you lose the Gunstar, you're out. So that's bad. So that's how hero assignment works. And over time, these guys will be able to pick up traits that can, like, speed up the reload of the weapons, as example. Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay, so we've been spotted. And he jumped out. Yep, they'll be back. How are they tracking us? Just like 33, right? Just like the start of the show. Nobody knows. We're going to have to get out of here somehow. Plan a jump. Get out of here. Anywhere. Beyond this theoretical limit, all FTL jump calcs are highly uncertain. But we don't really have much choice. Let's go. Everybody's ready to go. Okay. So let's see. Is there anything else we need to do here? Nope. I don't have any structure POIs. Weapons are set. Hangars set. I think we're good to go. So you're always given the opportunity before a battle begins to just look around and make sure there's nothing you want to do at the last minute, and then you are off to the battle screen. Now, you can also set the docks up before the battle begins. I usually start with the Viper and the Raptor. The Wolf is actually a pretty good little fighter as well. Let's send the Raptor out here, and let's send the Viper out here. And let's go ahead and load the... No, we've got nukes in the dock. Let's go ahead and load the flat gun, and we'll put the nukes in the other slot just in case we need them. We won't need them. Click on a dock to show the available squadrons. We've done that. Okay. Yep, we've done that. We put the nuke launcher in along with our flat gun. Yep, and then when we're ready to go, we unpause, and away we go. Yep, time to survive. So we have 55 seconds on the timer. We've got to survive. Shouldn't be that bad. So for now, I'm going to tag team this Heavy Raider until it dies. There we go. Okay, now we're going to Hugh here. Go get this guy. There we go. Now take care of these clowns. 10 seconds. So you'll always get an auto pause at 10 seconds. And then you basically are like, time to get everybody aboard. Let's go. Now, in that last 10 seconds, the Cylons will throw the kitchen sink at you. There'll be nukes flying everywhere. There'll be more ships spawning in. The key is to have everybody aboard before you jump. That's always the goal. Every time you jump, you'll get this screen. Yep, you'll get some kind of bonus for survival. You get a choice. I can restore HP on my main ship. I can give the Raptor XP, or I can grab some Tillium. I like the idea of the Raptor getting some XP. Well, we jump past the red line. Looks like we're not dead. Jump's complete. We're all here. Whoo! Military structure. Okay, something to investigate. Maybe looking for that encryption key that we need. Okay, so now here's the timeline. So you have 6 rounds of 6... I get to take six actions in this sector before the next battle. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to go explore this thing. Now, these two guys are halfway to an experience point. So let's do it with the XO. See if we can get a bonus for our Gunstar weapons. Sweet. Okay, so we advanced our opportunity. Okay. This whole Gunstar is one jump away from the junkyard. Select your civilian ship to learn more. Okay. If you train civilian crews, they can provide various resources and bonuses. That's correct. Current efficiency. You can train up a crew every time you give them 30 XP. Okay. So we'll just train them there. Awesome. So now every time we jump, we're going to make 30 scrap. Start of each sector. Awesome. So this is our current scrap. This is what we're going to use to upgrade things, make ship repairs. Think of this like in a way like credits, kind of. There are places you'll spend to scrap and so on. So here's our R&D tab for expanding and researching upgrades for the main ship. Here's our R&D lab. Fleet upgrade, you need to read the encryption key is right here. Select it to acquire more information. There it is. And you can see, unfortunately, we don't have enough scrap. So we need more scrap somehow. So let's go on back to our fleet management page. Fortunately, your Gunstar is your resource of last resort. You can always spend, this is not efficient, but you can always spend spare actions to create either scrap, supplies, or Tillium are the 3 main ones. They're not as efficient as POIs, but it works. And of course, we don't have any POIs in this sector. So we're going to spend a couple of actions to make 20 scrap. And now we can go get our upgrade done. So we come back here. Come on. Ah, it's this one. There we go. Going to unlock that guy. Moving along. So now they're saying it'll take a little bit to unscramble the message. And that's the basics. Still got 2 more turns. You can also assign heroes. We've done all of that. Resolve POIs. 2 of those have appeared. Awesome. So let's promote our XO. Fast reloader. This is exactly what I was looking for. This means the Gunstar weapon that she's assigned to reloads a little quicker. We could use some scrap. So why don't we send our chief tech to do that. Get her leveled up. What has she got? Okay. She could get that Tillium bonus, or I could make her a pilot, or assign her to a weapon. Right now, I'm not going to assign her to a weapon. Let's give her that Tillium bonus skill. That seems pretty good. And hey, another ship, huh? Sure. Love it. Could use it. Could use another ship in the fleet. A rare botanical cruiser that makes supplies every time we jump. Love it. R&D dabs done. Decryption. Aha, here's our message from Adama. You thought, wait a minute, this guy retired? What happened to him? The last message from the Colonial Fleet being decrypted. Suddenly, we can hear Adama's voice. I know I can't do Willie. I can't do Eddie. Sorry, I can't do Eddie's voice. Otherwise, I would try. Years ago, I'll tell you this story. I'll tell you this story in a minute. The day, yep, the war has begun. Everything's gone. They've infiltrated us. They look like us. Dun 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 dun. You've trained for this. You're ready. I have a plan. Join me at Galactica, and I'll guide you to a refuge. So say we all. And there we go. Time for a battle. So basically, what I've just kind of walked you through there is essentially the tutorial, the demo. You can play for free on the off of Steam. But we're going to start a new campaign here, and I'll show you how far this goes and how quickly it gets bad. Years ago, Ginger and I had gone to Dragon Con, and we saw Heather.
What?
What's the actor that plays Tyrell? Aaron Douglas. We saw Aaron Douglas. Aaron Douglas is a treasure, by the way. If you've not had the chance to meet him in person, he's such a great guy. Anyways, he was on stage telling this story about them filming the pilot, the miniseries, whatever you want to call it. It's one of the first, it's like his first day on set, and they're doing this scene. He's got a scene with Edward James Olmos, with Eddie. Everybody calls him Eddie. Okay, sure, with Eddie. So he's got this scene with Eddie, and they like get in each other's face, right? They're like yelling at each other. It's like they're you know, it's a tense moment, whatever it is, whatever this scene is. And he goes, we broke for lunch right before we filmed this scene. So we come back after lunch, and it's like he's gone out of his way to eat the most garlicky, oniony, nasty lunch he could possibly have. So he's in my face breathing this nasty, like trying to gas me out, right? And we do this scene, and it goes in at the end of it, I'm just like hacking and coughing. And Eddie just pats me on the back and goes, "Welcome to the show." You know, it was, Aaron tells it way better. I can't do the story justice because, of course, he lived it. It was hilarious. It was such a great story, though. Upgrades. Any more upgrades we want? I got 75 scrap to spend. Nah. Yeah, it does. It's hearing those guys tell stories sometimes is a little bit like hearing the B5 guys tell stories. You can tell the cast of BSG was a family, right? Like to this day, they still treat themselves like family. Yep, there's the auto pause. That's wonderful. I've never turned that off. I don't know why you would. Okay, it's battle time. Let's send our ships out and go murder Cylons. Let's go murder some toasters. Yep, let's go toast some toasters. I'm going to let that heavy raider come in a little closer before we pick him up. One of the tricks that I've had to, it's been a struggle for me to learn is not to let my ships wander too far from the Gunstar. Because at the end, you've got to get them back aboard, right? And if you're waiting too long, then that's a big problem. There we go. Now I gotta have to move out and deal with these snipers, so we'll deal with that. You'll see me very, very frequently. I'll kind of bring things back to mid, right? Like, oh, we're all kind of coming back to the center here. Now, one thing about the predictions, the predicting thing doesn't work until they actually spawn in. One of the tricks that I haven't mastered yet in this game is landing weapons, like Gunstar weapons, on stuff right as it spawns in. There's an art to that, and I have not figured it out. No, don't go out there. It is possible to damage your own ships with flak, especially if they're driven by morons, like apparently my Viper is. Come inside. You know, say come under the guns of the Raptor. There we go. Now go get this guy. Okay, there's our 10-second cue. I want to clear the battlefield. I want to go and call the Viper back. The Raptor can pick off this missile on its way, and then on its way in. There we go. Now we'll pull the Raptor in. Raptors are slow, so you don't want to let them get too far away from the base star, the gun star, whatever the hell you want to call it. Can't call it a base star. That's a Cylon ship. There we go. Everybody's home. Off we go. All of this has happened before, and all of this will happen again. There we go. So there's the tutorial. So now we're going to begin a regular run in normal difficulty, just like we had just jumped away from Caprica. So on subsequent runs, you'll basically always start kind of here. This is what it'll always look like. Now, the one thing that's new that's been added is the bar. You always have the opportunity to come in here, and usually on the first sector, there's only one choice in here. In later sectors, there's three. The pyramid court, the bar itself, and then kind of the rec tables. This is like gambling over here, right? One thing that we didn't cover, there are multiple factions in the fleet. The workers, the military, and the underworld. There's two things that get tracked for them. Your reputation, in other words, what are relationships like? You know, do they hate you or like you? And how much influence they have. It's possible for a faction to have a lot of influence and be openly hostile to you. That's bad, by the way. And then you also, the healthcare of the fleet and the average maintenance of the fleet also matter. These things will impact what kinds of crises you see and sometimes what kinds of opportunities and bonuses are presented to you. I'll give you an example. For the first time in a run I was playing earlier today, I let my healthcare get to poor, which had never happened before. As a result, I started having crises like I had one of scurvy, I had one of some kind of epidemic, and all of these things, that health fleet number on the main screen all started going in the wrong direction as a result of all these crises, right? I'm guessing if you had if you let your maintenance get too bad, you'll get a lot of situations where your ships are breaking down and things aren't working well and so on. The most common thing you'll have is the various factions will gain influence, but the relations will go south. Very commonly, you're forced into a situation where you are required to make a decision that one faction is going to like and another faction is really going to hate. And so that means that, oh, the workers now like you, but you've pissed off the military or whatever. Like those, you'll see that a lot. We'll start in here though. The very first one, you're always going to get access. You typically get access to some kind of fun perk in the first sector here in the bar. So we've got a new engineer who said she could help with upgrades, so we can get a free auxiliary system, or we can get a temporary bonus to our weapons and our squadrons. I'm going to go with the free auxiliary system. Don't know what it's going to be, but whatever it is probably better than nothing. Advanced targeting lenses, okay? So all our squadrons' weapons get an extra 25% of range. That's pretty sexy, especially for that Raptor. You have, one of the things we didn't talk about, you have a base impact. This is the fleet summary screen. You can always bring this up no matter where you are and kind of get a sense of what's going on. On this mission, on this particular playthrough, our baseline condition is called old tech, which means that repairing all of my stuff is a little cheaper. And then I can install up to 4 auxiliary systems that give a variety of whatever bonuses, could be anything. In this case, I found one, everybody gets 25% extra range. Awesome. And then of course, we showed you the weapons screen earlier. I have 2 weapon docks available, but I can have, as you can see, I can have up to 8 weapons in inventory. Squadrons are the same thing. I can have up to 8 squadrons, but I only at the moment have 2 squadron docks available. I can change those numbers here in the R&D lab. By spending scrap, I can open up another squadron dock or another weapon dock. I can also boost the hull points of every ship in my fleet. I can make it so that the impact of critical damage is less, and I can up the evasion numbers on all my squadrons in the fleet as well. This is actually really noteworthy. Basically, it means that when they're, Cylons are shooting at them, they have some percent chance to dodge. I can make every squadron have a higher percent by spending a little bit of scrap over here, as an example. So let's start off here. I've got 9 rounds to spend in this sector. Somebody's got a squadron upgrade here. It's the Raptor. Got some XP, so let's take this. Boy, I sure do like this auto repair foam. Glass cannons can be a little tempting, but I don't want to do that exactly. I like this repair foam because it makes this Raptor much more difficult to kill. Every 15 seconds, it just generates an extra 20 HP. That makes it much more difficult to get rid of. Big fan of that. So I can get each of my 3 basic supplies here in this first sector. Since I've only got 1 Tillium, we're going to start there. Let's go get some extra Tillium. My Chief Tech here has a bonus where she brings back an extra Tillium, so we're going to send her on that mission. So she's going to bring back 5 Tillium instead of 4. There we go. We spent 1 to go, and then we brought back 5 Tillium. Awesome. That spends 1, and then we're going to have a crisis here in a moment. Now, one of the things that I like to do, this is something I've kind of learned over my various runs, generally, you might find yourself needing hero actions to efficiently resolve crises. So what I try to do whenever possible is find a way to kind of stall a little bit and wait for my hero actions to see what the crisis is going to be. Obviously, as you click on the civilian ships, as they've taken damage, you can repair them. So that's fine. You can see they've got the critical effect thresholds in here. We don't want that to happen. There's upgrades we can take in the R&D that will remove these or make them easier to manage. One of the other things you can do, you can train the crews. As the crews get more experience, these ships get better. Right now, this is a level 2 ship that gives me 5 supplies per jump. Yes, the Raptor and the Viper represent squadrons, correct. This guy back here is a level 1 ship, so I'm going to train him a little bit. We'll just push that button once. That gets us to the crisis. Let's see what the crisis is going to be. One problem at a time. FTL jump report doesn't look good. We're having problems with the FTL, basically. With a bit of time and some resources, we can prevent future wear and tear, or we can assign engineers to maintain the drive. Why wouldn't we just do that? I mean, why spend time and resources solving problems? We've got to prioritize everything, short-term versus long-term. So almost every crisis you run into is going to offer you 2 choices. One is you can bypass it. Usually this bypass comes with some kind of lasting negative effect. In this case, you can see my repair costs for the next 3 jumps are higher, my hull repairs. Or I can come back here and I have 10 rounds to solve the crisis by doing something. We don't know what yet, but I have to solve the problem. If I fail, there's obviously an impact. I take a big chunk of damage to my main ship, or if I spend the right resources and actions to solve everything, then what happens is sometimes you get a little bonus. Frequently, you might get some XP on your heroes for having participated in solving the crisis, and usually you get a morale boost. Each of the heroes has a morale value that could possibly allow them to trigger their own little personal mission arc. Very commonly, if there's only one crisis going in the fleet, we'll see what it takes to resolve it. So in this instance, I have to take 2 actions. I have to spend 2 supplies for this one, so I can spend 6 supplies, or 2 hero actions, and over here, I can spend 1 action for 9 supplies. So, from a hero standpoint, it's better for me to spend my hero actions bringing in 9 supplies, and then bringing in this scrap, and then spend the supplies to solve the crisis, right? Because I can bring in 9 for 1 action, rather than over here, I would just save myself 6 by doing it this way. So we're going to go ahead and do this and just get this out of the way. Fairly straightforward crisis, not terribly complicated. Fix things up. There we go. So having solved the crisis, that's awesome. Everything's fixed. Awesome. We're great. Life is good. Just doing my job, sir. As a result, she gets a nice little morale bump. Every hero has this little morale icon, and a hero who's able to get that morale bar filled up will get a personal arc. They can basically get a free legendary trait. If they go the wrong way, they'll go through that personal crisis. I've never actually had that happen to me yet, but it can happen apparently. All right, so let's see. We're going to lose some supplies over here if we don't spend some supplies or a hero action. So let's come back over here for a minute. I can get 9 supplies from this. It would be nice to be able to get all the scrap here, but I think I want to prevent the supply loss. So we're going to let the XO handle this. Okay. Managed to avoid taking the point of damage. That's great. Then I'm going to send my CAG out to bring back the 9 supplies. There we go. All right. Feeling pretty good here. And periodically through a sector, you'll get these little, we need you for a minute. Something has happened. Okay, we're going to report an issue. Okay, so how are we burying the dead? Typically, our tradition is we have a 4-day mourning period, but unfortunately out here, we're just burning them or airlocking as soon as possible. I don't like this. I want to fix this. So, we can improve her morale by allowing healthcare to go down, or the reverse. Right now, I'm going to go with the other way around. Her morale is going to be easier to recover than bad healthcare. I understand. I get her point. I get the dilemma, but no thank you. Now, I've got one last POI to solve. I don't have a hero, so I can't get the larger number, but I can always get the lower number by just spending the Tillium. So we're going to do that. So there we go. We get some more scrap. Awesome. All right. Now, I've got 2 more rounds before I have to fight a battle. Let's look in the R&D lab. Is there anything we can do with our scrap that's of value? This would be good. I can reduce the critical effect impact on my main ship and make it so the hull points repaired are more efficient. I want to do this again, but I'm not going to be able to this time. I could also go ahead and spend the scrap to give my squadrons a little more evasion. I'm going to hold off on that right now. I could also just go with more hull points across the board. That might not be so bad. Let's look at this for a minute. I've got 1 civilian ship that's fairly beat up. He needs to repair at least twice. So let's get that done. Perfect. The goal here is to get him over this threshold. If he comes under that threshold, when we jump, if he takes enough damage to lower him below this threshold when we jump, he's going to come in with a little situation. Ship's going to be on fire or something. I don't want to deal with that, right? I just don't want to deal with it. All right, we'll go back to the R&D lab. I got 46 scrap left. That's exactly enough to put more hull points into everybody's ship. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we have no scrap as we make this jump, but that does not bother me over much. I've got 2 actions left to spend. We're going to put some points into training the crew on this ship because we are going to need this scrap for jumps later. Awesome. Okay, there we go. Everybody's assigned. My weapons are all assigned. I don't have a whole lot at this stage. It's pretty early. Let's go to war. Now, one of the things you have to do is, it says select civilian defense, right? Ordinarily, you would be, if you have more than 2 ships, you're given the option to pick which 2 are going into battle with you. And the Cylons will target them as well as you. They don't only target the civilian ships, but they will occasionally target the civilian ships as well as the Gunstar. When you go to make a jump, you are usually presented with 2 possible options, and you're told what POIs are going to be in that sector. So, I got Tillium, I've got a crash site, which is a choice, so a random drop between another hero or a random squadron, and then a cache, which is a choice between a systems upgrade, an auxiliary systems, or a weapon. All of those sound pretty good. Or I could have supplies, Tillium, and a new civilian ship. The new civilian ships are nice because the civilian ships, every time they survive to jump, you get something out of them. Usually a resource, but there are some really cool ships in the game that can do some really interesting things. On a new run like this, I won't have unlocked some of the really cool stuff. Because I really want this hero, and I'm willing to take the risks over here. Boy, and jumping where there's no scrap is going to hurt me. I'm going to jump here. Now, one thing you're going to notice, one thing you're going to learn as you play, and I'll go ahead and cheat and tell you this up front. In the bottom here, this is your current jumps. You see the 13th jump takes you to Galactica. Every 4 sectors, you have a boss fight. That's what the little red Cylon icon is. The first 4 jumps, the first 3 battles that you fight, basically, are not that difficult. They really aren't. The 4th one is your first boss fight. That one's usually a bit of a pain in the ass. But the first 3 jumps you fight are really not that challenging. So don't feel crazy. Don't feel like you're gonna get your ass kicked right out of the gate. They do a pretty good job of balancing things early on. So we're gonna send our guys out and let's go to war. Let's kill some toasters. It is the 13th jump. Gonna let the Viper clean him up. Let's get out here on this heavy raider. I think that missile's gonna hit. Nope. Okay, Raptor cleaned it up. Okay, so you can see this heavy raider is targeting my Raptor. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for him to get inside the Raptor's firing boundary, and then I'm gonna hit him with the Viper, and then we can tag team him. There we go, just like that. Now, borders are irritating. I'm gonna go ahead and send my Viper out here to go get this guy. I don't want to wait. They have a lot of HP, and if they survive to get close enough to one of your civilian ships or your Gunstar, they'll board the ship, and then the ship just takes damage. And by that point, you have to kill them before they get there, or it just happens. Now, when they spawn in groups like this, it's real easy to hit them with flak. So what we're going to do is I'm going to wait for them to spawn here. Okay, now that I can see the prediction, now let's hit them with some flak. Okay. The flak cannon has a range of 200 max. Okay, so these guys are beat up, but they are not dead yet, so we're going to get in here and clean them up. Okay, we got to kill this nuke, but I'm going to let the Raptor deal with it. Actually, no. I'm going to sick the Viper on it. There we go. Okay. These guys are about to jump in. There is absolutely friendly fire in this game. You can nuke your own ships. Don't do that. Please don't do that. That's so bad. It is tough, Soldier. It's tough. It took me, in my main campaign, I started a new campaign just for streaming. It took me 7 runs to beat it the first time. After that, I won't say it gets easier, but it gets a little easier. Like, okay, because you spend enough things that you've got some resources to start with and so on. It's not as big a hassle. But it took me a long time. You absolutely you have to invest quite a bit of time before you will get the opportunity to win. Okay, you get back over here and get back here and beat this guy up. Okay, you didn't. That's fine. I'll take it. Sweet, and welcome in, everybody. Thanks for being here. It's Memorial Day stateside. That's why I'm able to be here in the afternoon, so thanks for joining me. I'm going to wait for this nuke to come to me, and I'll just go get it. Go get it. There we go. Where are you going? You're going in, so I'm going to let you... Okay. We'll tag team you now. Cool. Welcome. Ari, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. All right, so there's our 10-second warning. We're about to jump, and as you can see, the Cylons are like, they can sense this coming, so here comes the pain. I'm going to go ahead and call the Raptor in, because it takes him longer to get there. But they're 8 seconds to get to the ship. In fact, both of these guys can easily get back. It's not going to be that tight. I really like the Viper, but I gotta say, one of my priorities, one of the best things that happened to me in this game, I think it was about the 3rd or 4th run, I finally had enough scrap to unlock that 3rd squadron slot. And so from the very beginning, I was able to field the Wolf, and I was able to field all 3 squadrons, and like, oh man, what a difference that made in my survival. So much easier to survive. So the XO can pick up some XP here, which would give her another XP point. We're gonna go ahead and do that. We like that. Sounds good. Okay. The lack of scrap in this sector is going to be a problem, but let's take care of a few other things first. Viper gets a promotion. Overdrive. Extra evasion. Or anytime he does, there's a 5% chance that it's double damage. I mean, I think I'm going to go with evasion. I think having him take less damage and die less is always a good thing. I may not necessarily take what the bar offers me early in a round, but I like to go in and look right away and see what's in here. Okay, so we can play Pyramid with the healthcare guys, we can share a drink with the XO, or we can gamble scrap. I almost never gamble my resources. I have had such terrible luck with this, I just almost never do it. That's just me. I'm not a gambler by nature. I'm loving this game, man. I'm loving it. Okay. Now, one quick way to make sure I have enough actions to tackle the crisis that might come later, whatever it is to jump out and see if I can pick up a new hero. What I'm going to start with is we're going to start off by promoting the XO. Now remember, with the XO, you want her assigned to weapons on the Gunstar. That's how her thing works. So I've given her fast reloader, and now I've got an opportunity to give her a skill that there's a 1 in 10 chance it might instantly reload. That feels pretty good. Crippling shot's not going to do any good on the defensive flak battery because it already slows them down. So we're going to take instant reload on her. That feels pretty good. I hear you, soldier. I've been there. I think the one thing, I've lost my Gunstar a number of times, obviously. I haven't had a loss yet where I lost on fleet health. I had my fleet health get down into like the 40s at one point. Like, it was bad. But I didn't lose because of it. I lost a different way. I lost another way. All right, let's go send somebody to chase a hero. We're going to send the CAG out to chase this hero. I really want this to be a hero and not a squadron, but I don't get that choice. Let's see what happens. I'm going to have to go for Tillium right after this, probably. Give me a hero. Okay, now, our rare Raptor's not terrible. I could do a lot worse. While doing inventory... Military officers came with some supplies they weren't needing. They want us to have them. Okay? So they're going to give me free supplies, but in doing so, they're going to gain influence if I allow it. If I tell them no, they dislike me. So I lose either. I won't say it's lose either way, but there's a penalty for saying no. You will almost always take anything anybody brings you for free. Like, I feel like you're kind of dumb if you tell them no. Yep, so we talked earlier about all of this. Awesome. So we took our free supply. Now we're down to 1 Tillium. So now we're going to send our tech out to go get some Tillium. Yeah, this is going to have to happen no matter what happens with the squadron, with the crisis in a minute. The compounding costs absolutely add up after a while. It absolutely can. No question. Let's go ahead and level up the CAG. Every time the allied unit is destroyed, assigned squadron abilities gain 25% duration. This hero always suffers the minimum possible damage. Cautious isn't a bad one. I was kind of hoping for something better for a squadron assignment. Every time an ally is destroyed in battle, it gains 30% max hull and is fully repaired. I mean, I kind of don't want my units to get destroyed. This is not a great skill. And he doesn't have any abilities that have a duration right now, because he's assigned to that Viper, and the Viper doesn't have any durational abilities. I gambled once, one walked away. There. That if I had done that, Zazzy, that would have been me too. I'm going to take that carry-on skill, but I'm kind of not a fan of it. Let's come back to the bar real quick. Kind of don't like gambling scrap. Boosting the XO's morale is not bad. It would also be nice to maybe get better healthcare, but would it actually improve the healthcare in the fleet? I'm going to come back to this in a minute. I'm going to need some scrap. One of the other things that I like to do when I have spare actions, I will frequently, because it takes 2 actions to get resources out of your Gunstar, I will generally just spend 1 action and leave it like half done and treat it like I'm banking an action for later. That's kind of how I think of it. I'm going to do that for scrap, and then we're going to see what this crisis is. Disrupted Hall. The Apollos was stocking up on wheat when the Cylons attacked. We had just enough time to grab as many food containers as we could before jumping away, but this stuff is flammable. We can't force them open without risking the whole thing blowing up. So what do you want us to do? The containers can only be opened with a key, something available on other hauling ships. Can you find one on your sector search? Would be too much trouble to search for a key. So our XO is basically saying, give me a few turns and I'll go handle it. Whenever you make information on that fleet summary, you can always check your fleet summary. Yeah, you can always pull this up to have a look at what's going on. So I have 2 options. I can bypass the crisis by locking out my XO for 2 sectors. I'm not keen on this. Or I can try to search for it ourselves. If I fail, I lose 20 supplies, but I've got 3 jumps to solve this problem. So I think I'm going to take Disrupted Hall. Okay. So what are my options? I have to resolve 2 structure POIs. Okay. So this is an opportunity where maybe I shouldn't have done the early things earlier, right? Because sometimes those structure POIs can be really beneficial. It is what it is. For now, I'm going to go ahead and send my XO to see what we can salvage. Either one of these could be good. Advanced War Room. Squadrons that aren't deployed gain 30 XP. Now that's actually really handy because I'm going to have at least 2 squadrons in the dock every time I jump for a while. That's actually a really good one for me to find. How's it going, Daystepper? I love the fleet summary being available everywhere because there are times it's like, wait, what? I need to look at something, and that's a great touch. Okay, I think I want to move into the better Raptor. What are my main differences here? I think it's just that the green Raptor already has basically the same stats as the blue Raptor. So it starts at a higher position. Yeah. Okay, so from a deploy's perspective, we're going to send our blue Raptor into combat going forward. And you know what? Let's get the Wolf some activity in this next sector. Let's get him some experience. Actually, chat was talking about the Wolf. I actually do like the Wolf, so let's do that. Okay, so we're going to launch our Blue Raptor and our Wolf next sector, and these 2 guys can sit in the hangar and get some XP. All right. 5 actions left. I can't do anything here because I'm out of POIs. So that crisis is going to be around with me for a little while. Let's come back to here. I'm not going to lie, I sort of don't care about the XO's morale right now, and I'm going to have more opportunities to do that. You don't always see opportunities to boost your healthcare and maintenance. I'm going to see what this does. Ooh, we're going to add a random POI. I could sow an item POI or resource POI. Ooh. I can spend supplies. I had 22 supplies. I kind of want the item. I really do kind of want the item. Let's do it. Let's gamble a little bit here. Okay, so we can pick up another. It's going to be a common Gunstar weapon. Okay, well, let's just go see what it is. It's not going to be a rare one. It can only be a common one. Another flat cannon. I'm actually not upset by this. I'm actually not upset to have 2 flat cannons. Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. Because there are some missions I don't need the nukes, right? Yeah, I like having another flat gun. Some workers have prepared a package for us. They're giving us some supplies. Yeah, give me the goods. You can have some influence. I'm fine with that. All right, let's go to the hangar. I think I'm going to put that other flat cannon up. Oh, this is oh, wait. Okay, I've got offensive flak and defensive flak. Well, what is defensive flak like? Within the Gunstar radius, fire barrage of defensive shots. Interesting. So, Zazzy, I have on my main campaign that I've been playing. I started a separate one for the stream so they could see it from the beginning. On my main one, I think I've done 7 or 8 runs, and I've completed 2. I'm in the middle of trying a run with the 3rd fleet available, whatever it is, and we'll talk about that later. I'm kind of showcasing this for everybody. A lot of my regulars have never seen this, and I've been playing a lot of it, so I wanted to show it off. I'm going to install this defensive flak. I don't even know how this works, but you pretty much never need nukes early. So I want to see what this defensive flak even does. I've never had... All the runs I've done, I've never had this cannon. Okay. I got some actions left here. I really want to get this ship trained, so let's get that done. Brilliant. I need the scrap desperately. 3 actions left. Yeah, I finished a run on the second one that's got the Gunstar weapon focused version. That was a really fun ship to play, but man, I could not get good weapons on it. It was total trap. The weapons I had were terrible. So yeah, it felt a little bad, if I'm honest, right? It was a real struggle to get good weapons on that thing. This would give me more supplies. Right now, I really need the scrap, but 50 per jump is probably pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and just put 1 each into these. I like having 1 action banked into everything for emergencies. It's oh crap, I need a little scrap. For 1 action, I can top it off. So this is kind of my way of hedging my bets. I like doing this. And then I think I'm going to put some experience. I need to put more experience into this. I desperately need the scrap. Yep. Okay. It's very short range. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. I want to try it out. This is my first time ever deploying it. So this will be fun. I think we're ready. I've got everybody assigned. Yep, you don't have an assignment. I really need another hero, but it is what it is. Zazzy, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Let's do it. Let's just go. Yeah, let's just go. What's the worst that could happen, guys? All right. I got a couple of options here. Mining rig, so I've got...
You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Big Bad, thank you for the gifted. Thank you so much. It's awesome. Oh, Soldier, I have been loving this game, man. I've never played a game like this before. And it has been so much fun discovering all the cool little things hidden in it. I was gushing to my wife about the names of the achievements, right? There's one that's roll the hard 6, and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, you can tell the people that made this game love the show. You can tell. It's in every pore of the game. And as a fan, I feel that in my soul. It's so much fun. Okay, this is a safe sector. No crisis. That's appealing. And I've got basically 1 POI for every base resource I could need. Or I've got Tillium and supplies, Temple Ruin for Fate. We'll talk about Fate in a minute. And an optional elite battle that I have no interest in because I will get my face smashed in. So no. We're going to go to the nice safe squad. We're going to go to the nice safe place. Now let's talk about Fate for a minute. This is something that my regulars haven't seen me talk. They don't know what this is. This is the compendium screen, okay? Every time you play, you're going to earn a currency called Fate. You will be awarded your Fate at the end of the run. Live or die, at the end of the run, you'll get a big pile of Fate. You can spend that Fate on perks. The perks give you bonuses on subsequent runs. They make subsequent runs a little more bearable. You start with extra resources. You start with extra rerolls. You start with higher chances to roll better things on random tables. These kinds of things and so on, okay? But you have to play several times. The other thing that happens in here is all of the little squadron abilities and so on, they appear as a part of your codex. So one of the things you're going to find along the way is you'll find the opportunity to visit those little. You saw it there. Is it a temple? That just gives you fate. It just adds to your fate total at the end of the run for spending a POI, spending a Tilium or something. So let's go. These early battles you don't have to stress over too much. Like I said, these first 3 sector jumps are very straightforward. I'm going to take the safe path. We're going to go to the crisisless one. I want my resources. I really want to get that extra squadron dock if I can. We'll see how it goes. There's no fate. I love it, Daycepper. I love where your head's at. I understood that reference. Okay. I'm really curious to see the defensive flat cannon in action. I hope I get the chance to use it. Okay, Blitz. So these guys, every 10 seconds, one unit will come in with a big damage bonus, but takes a bunch of damage back. Okay. Wow, the wolf didn't even get to shoot. The wolf is actually a good matchup for the heavy raider. He's got a fair chunk of HP. Plus, he'll taunt him, right? There we go. Pull back a little bit. Don't like you being hung quite so far out there. Okay. Plus, I'm going to try... I'm not going to try the defense. I really want to try the defensive flak this time. Okay, hold on. Now, let's go get these guys. That's fine. The Raptor's going to do it anyway. There we go. Might as well get some XP out of it. Adelgel, if you only watched the first season of BSG, let me tell you, you saw some pretty good sci-fi. The second season is really good. The third season is not as strong. The third season is arguably the worst. The fourth season is a bit of a roller coaster ride. Yeah, I would need a third weapon slot to mount the nuke as well. Right now, I have 2 weapon slots and 2 squadron slots. But the one thing that I won't say I was proud of. Let's say I was proud of. I was proud of about BSG when it started. I made a prediction of how it was going to end, and 4 or 5 years later, when it ended, I was like, "Yep, I was right." I felt really good about that. I was like, "Yep, I was right." Now, sending my wolf this close to this frigate is probably a bit of a risk. Let's hold him back. I don't want to leave him. I don't want to get him too close, because these guys come in with speed bonuses, and my wolf is not fast. Okay, he's having a good mission though. Okay, he's starting to take a little bit of damage, though. We only got 30 seconds left. I think I'm probably going to be all right. Got some raiders here. There we go. I am liking the range on the wolf. He's doing good work out here. Okay. "13 seconds. We're about to have to call everybody in." All right, let's go. It's going to be a little slow for the wolf to get back. We should still be ahead of the bad guys. Yeah. Come on. Come on. And jump. There we go. The nuke can be reloaded even while it's not mounted, correct. I probably should have pushed the defensive flak button just to see what happened, but there's always next time. All right, I can level up this raptor. That's maybe not a terrible play. I don't really care about the fate right now. Wolf had a decent mission. Let's go ahead and level up the raptor. That automatic taunt of the wolf is good. The wolf is really good when you can get it with a pilot or some ability that lets it heal. One of my earlier runs, somewhere along the way, I had a pilot along the way that, like, every time the wolf got a kill, it healed like 20 hull or something, and it was like, that was great because it could taunt something, take a little damage, kill it, and heal it back. It was a really good ship to have in that fleet. All right, well, we get a promotion on our little blue raptor here. What are we gonna pick? Clears target of all negative effects and makes them immune for the duration. That's kind of sexy. Range bonus, or this is actually a really good skill for a raptor. This one is harder to come by, but it's also much less. It's very situational. We're gonna get a lot more value out of Bloodthirsty, I think. So we're gonna pick that up. Okay, feels pretty good. I should have put my hero in the wolf. I'll do that for next mission. Okay. All right. I like to look around. Let's see. Let's look at the timing of everything real fast. Okay. We don't have a crisis in this sector, so it's less critical what order we do things in. So we can share a drink with our tech. We can talk to the healthcare guys again, or we can gamble supplies. We won't be gambling anything. I guarantee that. Let's talk to healthcare guys. Gain 30 fate. Gain 10 fate. I kind of don't care about the fate right now. It's run number 1. Like, I'm not fussed. I was kind of hoping you would offer me a way to improve the healthcare of the fleet, but that's cool. I won't turn down 10 fate. 10 fate's 10 fate, but I don't want to spend a bunch of resources on it on my first run, which is already challenging enough. Okay, this other POI will help me clear this crisis, so let's get that done, and we can get a promotion for our chief tech. So let's do that. I'm giving up Attilium by doing that, but it's fine. Okay, that's done. All right, she gets a morale boost. And let's see. 5 health every time she resolves a POI. Or I can assign her to a Gunstar weapon to give it more range. That gives her some flexibility. I'm going to pick up this marksman, and we'll assign her to our other defensive weapon. Let's do that right now while I'm thinking about it. I really love the reboot. I'm a sucker. I love it. Let's put her on this defensive flat cannon. Let's pump that range. Okay. Let's go get some Tillium. We're going to need that. How you doing, Zaf? Happy Memorial Day, buddy. Yep. An issue requires your attention. Yeah, Underworld plans to redistribute the belongings of those who couldn't join the fleet before we escaped. Workers hate this idea. What should we do? Whatever we do is going to piss off somebody. Or we could just steal the supplies and piss off everyone. Let's side with the workers. Sure, the Underworld hates me. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Life goes on. If you're going to have a faction of the fleet hate you, if it's the criminals, you're probably doing something okay. I'm going to go ahead and get the extra supply, just because it gets me... Like, I got nothing else to spend on it, right? I don't think. Let's see. What else can we be doing here? We can be working on our ship XP. In fact, I'm going to definitely do some of that here. The extra scrap will be a huge boon. The Underworld is handling security aboard a shim. This is not appreciated by the military. Yes, we know. We should be doing this. How do we handle this? Let's make the Underworld really hate me. Yep, there it is. Now it's tense. Now they really don't like me. Okay. I'm going to finish maxing that guy out. Awesome. That is now a level 3 maxed out ship. 70 scrap per jump. Feels good. Let's go get our supplies. We're going to need those eventually. Maybe not today, but there will come a day that we desperately need them. And we'll be glad to have had them. Okay. There's some tension. Dockers are using an empty deck. Navy personnel warn it's off limits. We got to make a choice. Who are we going to piss off? Let's piss off everybody. That's fine. Okay. Military now really likes us. Now, let's see. I got 2 actions left. Let's look in the R&D lab. Is there something... I should probably save up for that. I need to save up for this 3rd squadron. There's a lot of really good cheap upgrades. For 44, this is a great one. But I'm going to keep saving scrap. I'm going to be over 200 scrap after the next jump. So, and I could actually pick up a little extra scrap right now with these extra actions. Or... I'm going to keep stockpiling supplies, I think. Yeah, let's go for scrap. Scrap is so valuable, and I just don't have enough of it, pretty much no matter what's happening to me. All right, because the military's influence is high enough, we now get this opportunity. Your CAD goes through the morning report. Pilot briefing went great. Our relationship with the military is wonderful. He loves it. One of the pilots is an old-timer, thinks he knows a way to improve the ammo. Permission to find a pre-war wreckage to grab some samples. Improving our ammo would be faster loading speed. Okay, fine. So we got to look around, and we might have an opportunity to get a nice little bonus. Cool. 1 action left. Let's stockpile that one here and move on. This is going to be our last kind of simple battle before it starts to get hairy. Let me see something. If I pick up 70 scrap, I'm still going to be shy. Okay. All right. Well, this is a big deal. Let's see what jumps I'm offered here. I need to focus on something that's going to offer me scrap. Ooh, this one's full of things. I got scrap, Tillium, supplies, nukes, and Tillium again. And over here, we have double Tillium, a trade ship, and nukes. Now, the trade ship has some interesting ramifications, because right now, I have things I could sell it. I could sell things for scrap. I have probably at least... Like, I could sell this green Raptor. Probably won't ever use that again now that I got a blue one. I could probably sell... Actually, I don't want to sell the nuke launcher or the defensive flak. So that's probably the only thing I could sell, really, would be that one Raptor. I probably need to make the jump to where I can get scrap. Yeah, this needs to be the jump, I think. Yeah, I'm going to lose out on some opportunities here, but there's plenty of Tillium. The opportunity to pick up some nukes would be good. I'm bummed I'm not finding... Now, I will say this. The one thing... Going to the trade beacon will give me another hero. They'll have heroes I can buy. I kind of hate it. If I go here, what I'm going to end up doing is... I'm going to make 70 scrap for the jump, and then I can sell... the Raptor squadron that I'm not going to use, which is probably going to be another 50, let's say. That'll be enough to buy the 3rd squadron slot. And then I can pick up a bunch of Tillium and some spare nukes and buy a hero. I need the hero. I don't like this, but I'm doing it anyway. I want that extra hero, and I want the 3rd squadron slot before that first boss fight. Okay. Now, minefields in this game are interesting, because mines... are friendly fire. So what's going to happen, I'm actually going to I'm going to hold the Raptor as far back as I can. In fact, I'm not even going to deploy the Raptor right away. In fact, I'm actually going to do this differently. We're going to pull out the Wolf and the Viper. Because, actually the Viper's not a great one right now. Let's pull out the Raptor, but man, is there a way I can hold this Raptor back? Because his range is such, he's going to start picking off mines earlier than I want him to. I think I'm going to leave him here, but I'm just going to deploy the Wolf right now. We're only going to deploy the Wolf at first. Actually, that's perfect. Put him on the backside of the Gunstar. Yeah, that's good. Do that. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these mines to blow things up as best I can. As they spawn farther out and come in, you can blow up the mines and kill the Cylons with them. It's actually a hell of a lot of fun. Okay. So let's look around. Oh, that actually doesn't work. No. Here we go. I love doing that. I love using their own minds against them. It's so much fun. Okay, come back here now that you've successfully blown that clown up. You've got a clear shot to blow that guy up without disturbing anything. Now, it is what it is. The sniper's hurt. Hold on. I'm making this too difficult for myself in some ways.
Well, that's normal for you.
No, that would never happen. Oh, it's interesting. They actually are ignoring the mines. I didn't think they would do that. But they're ignoring the mines unless I tell them to shoot them, which makes me actually very happy. It's exactly what I want them to do. No! So. Don't be dumb like Raptor. Not that Raptor. This Raptor. Don't be dumb like Raptor. Okay, it's alright. We can bring him back. But I am irritated that I screwed that up. Okay. We're going to have a lot of beat-up civilian ships, so I'm probably not going to be able to spend the scrap the way I want. Yep. Oh, that defensive flak does have a very short range, doesn't it? Okay. Wait a minute, is there a mine? There's not a mine in there. 25 seconds. This is getting exciting. Okay.
Like Space Invaders meets StarCraft.
I mean, it's a little more than that, but yeah.
I mean, this particular fight. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking of.
Do. All right, 10 seconds left. I think it's time to pull everybody in. Not my best showing. A little irritated I let that guy blow up, but that's okay. We had extra squadrons in the bank for it. And jump. Okay. So she's much more of an MMO. She's been playing a lot of Star Trek Online lately. A lot of Star Trek Online, and used to be still is probably a big Star Wars: The Old Republic fan.
I just needed a break.
Yep.
The grind was getting to me.
Yep. I don't want to pay for this. All right, so I've got 2 criticals to deal with, which is irritating. Yep, exactly right. Okay, so. We definitely don't want 100 people to die. Yeah, we could lose a whole bunch of people if we don't manage this correctly. Let's look over here. Yep. She's from Taron. Okay. Let's see what she's got for sale. Okay. Just doing the same thing. We're all fighting for what we believe in. You want to look at what I got to sale for sale or not? All right. Safety. See, safety expert. Okay. Empathetic. That's actually kind of nice. I wouldn't mind that. If I were to sell, my Green Raptor is worth 95. That feels pretty good. I like that idea. I don't want to sell the wolf just yet. Oh, Chermosh, that's awful, because the lifetime sub is actually worth a decent amount on STO. Alright, I need to deal with these situations. Let's see. I hate having to spend the supplies. Boy, do I need another hero. I think I might buy a hero first. Yeah, let's buy a hero. But which one should we get? Am I going to be able to afford... If I get 95 scrap, I'm going to be at 328, and I need 264 for the 3rd Squadron dock. And I definitely want that 3rd Squadron dock before we go into battle. So what I'm going to do is we're going to buy a hero. Thinking I'm going to buy this evasion expert. This guy's rare skill is okay, but it's not amazing, and I just need a body. So we're going to buy the evasion expert. She's going to be the one to go solve this problem. We'll get her some experience that way. Awesome. Don't get dead, sweetheart. Our med base suffered a problem. We lost most of our drugs. We need drugs. Or I can let healthcare deteriorate. Yep, healthcare's going down. Sucks to be you, buddy. It's tough out here for everybody, my friend. Life sucks. Wear a helmet. Okay. 4 supplies are in action to fix this. I've got 3 POIs. Let me look at these Tillium POIs. I'm only going to spend 2 hero actions on POIs this time. The difference between 3 and 4 is not enough for a hero action, in my opinion. It's worth it here, especially if I use Vasenko, because I'll get 5 Tillium out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use... Let's see. I need somebody to go get some nukes. Okay, so it has to be you, apparently. So go get me some nukes. Master, that's awesome. I'm glad they were able to do that for you. I mean, the lifetime subs for Trek, like when you got one all those years ago, like that was, you know, that was not easy. I mean, what was it? That was a long time ago, right? We're going to send the XO to solve this problem. And then that'll give us a chance to let the Chief... Sweet, XO gets a promotion. The workers are requesting lessen the security around their activities. Too much red tape. Yeah, I agree. Too much red tape. Government is stupid. Chaos for everybody.
Thanks, Tom.
Let's go! Chaos for everybody. Tom Zarek approved this message. Let's go get some Tillium with this chica. I don't ordinarily like doing this before I know what the crisis is, but the crisis is so late this sector, I kind of don't have a choice, and I need the Tillium. Like, I got to do it one way or another. So let's just get it over with. We have a new opportunity. All right, the workers love us. We may have struck a deal. I was having a drink with the guild leader who told me they were quite eager to test a new salvage technology. Deal is, she goes out and murders Cylons, and they'll show us how to gain additional scrap. This could be a good deal. This would be a great deal. We desperately need the scrap. So I need to put you in a ship that's going to kill toasters. You have extra evasion. I like the idea of putting you in the Viper. I also like the idea of putting you in the Wolf. I'm gonna go ahead and put you in the Raptor, though. Put you in the blue Raptor. I still think I need to go sell my green Raptor, because I'm just not going to use this thing again. Okay. And then, nope, not you. Let's go to... Let's unlock my 3rd Squadron dock, please. Sweet. And 64 scrap. Okay. All right, with that done, let's load up a 3rd Squadron here. We'll put everybody into the field going forward. Wonderful. Okay. 2 actions to... Let's see, what do we got here? 2 wreckage POIs. I've only done 1. She's got to blow up stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's go get... I mean, at this point, let's go get the Tillium. 1 action for 2 Tillium is pretty good. Alright. And then... I'm going to go scrap, I think. Because I need to repair the hulls on some of these guys. Alright. How bad's the crisis? Skipping Stone. Commander of the mining ship wants to talk to you. He's a little pissed. An asteroid just hit our hull. Everything's okay except for a spare parts vault. The exterior door may break. We can't fix it ourselves. How we need your help. Chief Tech's ready to help him. Exo wants to leave him, hang him out to dry. Commander, if we're going to help them, their ship will be unavailable. We'll lock the ship for a while. I don't like locking it because it means I can't repair it. So we're gonna let the chief go work on it, and let's see what we have to do. We have to spend actions or supplies that we can sort of spend 2 supplies. I could spend 6 supplies and get this started, but I won't be able to resolve it completely this go around.
To Jurassic Park.
I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Pip? I'm just going to call you Pip. Welcome in. Oh, yes. I haven't done the bar yet. What do we got over here? Workers want to give me scrap for Tillium. We can fix our rep with the underworld. I like this idea better. I like keeping the underworld off my back. Do I want to spend supplies? No, let's not spend supplies. Okay, perfect. Yes, sir, I think it is 2 out of 3. Yeah, it's 2 out of the 3. So, I mean, I'm going to do this one regardless, pretty much. Because it's the same. Mostly, I want to be able to repair these guys. Actually, you know what I need to do out of the R&D lab? I need to do this, and I can't. Damn it. I need to get rid of that extra critical effect on the civilian ships. All right, I got 3 actions left. I'm not going to be able to solve the crisis this phase no matter what I do. Of course, I'm jumping into a boss fight, so it might be the end of me one way or another. Where are we at? It would take me 2 actions to get the scrap that I need. Unless I sell something. I don't really have anything to sell. Yeah, I really actually kind of like the setup that I've got. I could kind of sell the war room, maybe. Maybe. I don't have any squadrons that are sitting around doing nothing. I kind of like the war room, though. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a position where I should sell it. It's only worth 38. That doesn't feel like a whole lot. I feel like I'm getting more than 38 scrap worth out of it because it repairs squadrons that don't... Like, if I get a squadron wrecked and then I simply choose not to repair it and go to battle again without it, it'll just repair itself with that thing. That could be really handy. Especially if I can pick up a 4th squadron. I don't have a 4th squadron. I can barely afford the squadrons I have right now. Problem is, I also need to repair these ships before we go into battle again. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to repair things. Okay, yeah, we're going to be spending most of our scrap doing that. So let's do this. And then let's work on cleaning up this so that this is less of a problem for us next sector. I got to spend at least 4 supplies one way or another no matter what we do. And then let's... That's a lot of fleet health to risk, but we can afford it. We got it. Our fleet health is pretty good. Yeah, of course we lost Max. Okay. Okay, she's been fixed up, but what do we say? Let's proceed, and then somebody has to go over there and do something. But I think it's time for the boss fight. Yep. Yeah, so I'll have to do that later. I can't do it right now. Yep. Okay, that's fine. I think we're ready to go here. It's about as good as it's going to get. Yep, let's do it. I don't know what else to do. Everybody's assigned. I've got my squadrons lined up. I got my weapons lined up. I still want that, but I can't get it right now. Let's go. Let's go. If I die, it's my own fault. I'm the one that put myself in this situation. I really hope we survive this jump. I really hope we survive this jump. A lot of good opportunity there. And it's a base star, because of course it is. Why would a Cylon hail me? The voice that speaks after is high-pitched, full of malice. Poor little humans. Afraid of the dark, are we? You're brave enough to make it this far, but did you really think we'd let you live? Alright, so it's one of the skin jobs. Taunting me from the base star. Yep. Now let's get to punching each other, shall we? I don't have all day. Battle stations, let's go! Alright, first time we get 3 squadrons. This ought to feel pretty good. We're going to need all the help we can get. Let's get him into the war. I need 15 kills out of the Raptor. I don't think that's going to be too difficult, truth be told. But it does mean I'm going to play guys back a little bit. To give her the opportunity. Already with the nukes. Jeez, you guys. Actually, you know what? Now would be a good opportunity for some offensive flak. Why don't you sit back here and shoot these guys in the flak cloud, but don't you dare go in there, you dummy. Yeah, try that for me. And of course you shot him. Okay, hold on. Alright. This goofy guy has a thing where he tries to murder your fighters. At least he's targeting the wolf and not the raptor. I got about 2 seconds here, and then we're going to make this, and then we're going to start moving this guy out of the way. I'm going to see if we can... I'm going to try and get him to shoot his own stuff. No, wait, you're shooting this guy. Stay on him. You get over here. See? If you can walk those shots into his ships, he'll absolutely damage his own things. Now, my wolf is a little beat up. I'm not a fan of this, but it is what it is. Yep, I'm deliberately letting... I'm trying to get this mission done for my Raptor pilot. I'm deliberately letting her clean things up. I'll pull the wolf back. I don't like him being so far out there on his own. Yeah. Go get this guy. Ah, stupid thing. Just go run for a bit. I don't want you to take the damage. I can't afford you to take the damage. I can probably run you into the hangar if I have to. Just get moving. Like at the end of 5 shots, it'll stop. There we go. Get to work. Okay. We're at 10 of 15. We got 50 seconds. Let's pull the Viper back. I don't like you being quite that far out. Let's go with some defensive flak. I mean, offensive flak on these clowns as they spawn in. No. No, stop. Wrong guy. I love it when the stupid effect targets my Viper, because I'm like, you're wasting your time. You'll never catch him. Yeah, Wolf's getting pretty low out there. 20 seconds. I may go ahead and pull the Wolf in. In fact, I'm going to. I really need one. I really want my one more kill for this Raptor. I'm probably going to have to do something stupid to get it. Yep, I'm going to have to do something stupid to get it. That's fine. Go get this nuke. Ten seconds. Okay. Okay, she got her mission done. Pull everybody in, and we're out of here. And does defensive flak... Does defensive flak hurt my own units? Who knows? I kind of don't want to push this button. I'm a little frightened, honestly. I'm a little scared. Actually, let's cover his retreat with... They're going to follow him. Yeah, I think it does. Okay, then I'm just going to cover his retreat with offensive flak. There we go. There we go. That worked out nicely. I want to see what this defensive flak thing does. Okay, time to go. Holy crap, that was dumb. that was a little crazy. Okay, yeah, let's take that repair. That was silly. I shouldn't have let that go quite as long as it was. Solid. I like it. We got our little opportunity done. And nobody exploded. Yes. Okay, and we should have gotten our 100 free scrap from the workers mission. Bam. There it is. We went from 4 scrap to 174. That feels much better. All right. Passing by or just running from the Cylons? No friendly fire and defensive flak. Yeah, I got to look that one up. I don't think it tells you. That's okay. The offensive flak behind him, like as he retreated, worked well, so I'm not going to complain. Ooh, a blue Viper. That would be pretty sexy. But I'd have to sell something. I don't know. We'll see. I probably need the hero more than I need. Combat training is an amazing way to get a high-level hero in a real hurry. Axe health. I've already got some of the veteran pilot. So if I can come up with 25 supplies, I might do that. I might pick that dude up. All right, let's finish this up. I'm going to spend the 2 supplies because I don't want to spend the hero action just yet. Okay, perfect. Crisis resolved. Scrap will no longer leak out of my ship. Outstanding. Oh, hey, we get scrap. No, we're going to keep all of that. I need every... No, that's my scrap. I need all of it, kids. Sweet. Okay. Everybody's morale is still neutral, huh? Yeah. It's hard to find time to work on people's morale. Members of the Underworld provide services we need. However, they don't have proper quarters. If we could spare some scrap... I don't like this, but I got to shut them up because if they get mad at me, then it just gets dumb. So I still came out with a net 30 scrap out of that. I'm not upset. Alright, my wolf gets a promotion. Please give me something with a heal. 15 damage for every 5 seconds. Less damage close to me. I like this. This would be good. That'll allow him to tank a little better. That feels pretty good. Okay, let's do that. And then here, I need to resolve a wreckage POI. With just anybody. Well then, why don't we do it with... Why don't we go get Tillium with our travel planner? Let's go get Tillium with our travel planner. That feels like a smart idea. Does it? That feels like a smart idea. How much? Ooh, I can get 10 supplies, but then I gotta spend a lot of supplies on that other person. Grumble. I really need a hero. I really need another hero. But going into this sector with a low on the supply count is gonna be rough. Okay, Grant, that's actually really useful to know. The offensive flak does hit your own fighter squadrons. I know that for a fact because I've screwed that up before. I've killed my own squadron before in this game. Like, oops, I'm dumb. We're gonna give our XO a call sign. I like Butcher. Horatius the Butcher. Alright, what are my options in the bar? Gamble scrap, no thank you. Workers want to trade Tillium for scrap, maybe. Or we can work on Samaris' morale, which I'll be honest, I really don't care about. We don't want to lose 100 fleet health. That would really suck. I like the idea of being able to get a better than blue ship, though. Alright, this is going to be a tricky sector to manage. Let me look at this. I need to resolve one of these POIs. I'm actually in a decent shape on Tillium here. I'm going to spend 4 and make at least 2. So that's a net of 2 loss. So I'd have 4 Tillium going out of this sector. That's not terrible. So I think what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and get the opportunity thing done. We're going to do it with the CAG. We'll pick up a whole big pile of scrap. He's going to level up. And we're going to get a nice bonus for the next 2 sectors. The next 2 battles, we're going to have minus 20% cooldown on our Gunstar weapons. That's cool. Let's give him a promotion. Test pilot is pretty good. Hero never loses any health when their squadron becomes wrecked. If it does become wrecked, the hero and the squadron both gain 10 XP. I like this. I feel like that's pretty good. Veteran tricks. Design squadron abilities gain 25% duration. I don't have any squadron abilities. So yeah, test pilot it is. Okay. Now, I do not want to spend these. I'm going to have to spend an action here. Let's sick the XO on it, I think. Yeah. I can't afford to lose that much fleet health. That's really bad. Okay. As I'm sure you're aware, a new batch of medicine is about to ship. I would really love some. No, your morale's not as important as fleet health. Sorry, sweetheart. Sucks to be you. Life sucks. Wear a helmet. Okay. Say what? I got 2 good weapon skills here. We already got fast reloader and instant reload. Weakened Gunstar weak applies weak every time it deals damage. So right now she's assigned to my offensive flak ability. I like that. Let's do that. And then... oh, man. I am not sure which way to jump here. I really want a 3rd civilian ship. I need the resources that it might possibly provide. If you're already wearing a helmet, then good for you, Puddin'. Good for you, buddy. I'm not going to be able to save any of my hero actions this time around. It's not going to happen. Let's go see what civilian ship we get. A salvage vessel. That's outstanding for us. We desperately need that. Okay. I'm probably going to want to spend some time boosting that guy up. Okay. Evasion expert. We've already got for squadrons. 60-second mark on squadrons with sword. 100% at max hull. Combat training is going to level her up like nobody's business. Or, yeah, it's going to be one of these two. Timely repairs is an interesting one. I've had this skill on other squadrons before. It can be really, really interesting. But paired with evasion expert, it's like, you're probably not taking a ton of damage. Now, with that said, it's really good to put this on, like, the wolf, because then he basically, for him, the battle is in two halves. Any damage I take in the first half, he's gonna heal up, and then I got the whole second half of the battle to go. So putting her on the wolf with evasion expert and this is probably not a bad way to go with that taunt. Let's do it. And then let's shuffle them around. She needs to be on the wolf. And then I'm going to put him on the Viper, I think. Extra hull. Yeah. Yeah. That works. Perfect. And then, I still don't have the supplies. Really want to buy that blue hero. Really want to buy that blue hero, but if I do that, I'm going to have no supplies. It's going to be so sad. I'm going to do it. I'm 100% going to do it. Yep. We desperately need this. Actually, oh, hold on. It's not going to be nearly as bad as I thought, because I can do this. I'm going to hire this guy. He's going to be assigned to my Raptor. And then I can send him out for Tillium, or I can wait and see what this crisis is. Let's wait and see what the crisis is. What's we got in the bar? Tillium for scrap. I'm actually good on scrap right now. Speaking of, let's go to the R&D lab. Anything we want to buy in here? Hull reinforcements would be really good. I really want this. I really want to stop having to solve these critical problems out of my civilian ships. That's pissing me off. And then I can afford the third weapon dock. I don't want it right now. The extra hull would be really good. I'm gonna sink. Well, let's see. What does she have for sale first? I could buy a blue Viper. What if I sold my green Viper? That's not bad. It only cost me 50 to make that upgrade. Versus 212 because he's got some bonuses. Yeah. Well, those are from the pilot. Why is he 212? Hold on a minute. Let me look at something. Let me take him out of that thing. I want to run a comparison. Sell. 187 health versus... Okay, so there's like a 10% health bonus because he's leveled up. That's what it is. 112, 15, 18, 112, 19. He's faster. And he's got extra evasion because of the... Okay. Man, I gotta say, though, I like... and he's got the missile launcher attached. Yeah. Which I haven't even really been using the missile launcher. I don't know that I need it, actually. I'd probably be more inclined to buy some nukes or some supplies. Actually, buying some supplies would be really smart right now. I'm going to save his action. Let's just go get... I put my CAG back in this fighter. Okay, perfect. Everybody's got a squadron. I can't trade Utilium for scrap. I'll gamble some scrap. No, I can't gamble scrap. That's terrible. All right, well, my options are crap, so we're going to go work on morale, I suppose. I'll do that in a minute, though. Saving his action. I'm going to wait and see. Let's do some repairs. Let's do one here. Yep. Perfect. What's my crisis? Death under the stars. Someone has been murdered in the hydroponic ship. Farmers won't go back to work. They want an arrest. We need your help. Otherwise, farming can come to a standstill. We should send someone in, conduct a proper investigation. A murder on other ship's not our problem. The XO has a very odd sense of law and order. I'd just like to point that out. Yeah, we kind of have to look into this, kids. Yeah, we pretty much have to check this out. So, let's go check this out. What are our crisis solving things? We got to do 2 of 3. Come on. I have to analyze video footage and spend some supplies. We are not going to solve this now. I'm going to send out the new guy to interrogate angry civilians. That sounds like a good idea, right? Actually, no. He's going to analyze the video footage rather than risk his health. Let's do that. Okay. So we're going to get that one moving along. We're not going to be able to solve it this sector. I think I'm going to pass on the Tillium. Let's take this morale boost, because why not? I don't have the supplies for a drink, but we can improve his morale a little bit. That's fine. Let's go ahead and spend a little bit and get out of the complete toilet on supplies. Let's pump Hippolytus's hull. Let's pump this guy's hull. I'm going to train his crew again, I think. Or I could gain 2 Tillium. No, I could gain 1 Tillium. I can do that over here for free. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Anything else I want to buy? I mean, buying some supplies is not a bad idea. Why don't we spend some scrap on supplies? How many supplies do I make every jump now? Only 5. That's terrible. I can still shop after I've used my last action. We'll come back to you in a minute. Yep, I know. We're going to a battle. It's cool. We're going to buy 5 supplies. And that's done. I can't do any more of this. All right, who are we picking? Who's in decent shape here? 11. It's going to be a Shem and Hippolytus again. Okay. Those are going to be that. We're going to do that. I don't have anything to sell. All right, I think we're in good shape. Let's see, or as good as it's going to get. Let's see where we're going. What are we looking like? A little bit of everything. Temple Ruin, Refinery, Nukes, Supplies, and Scrap versus Health, a new ship, or a Temple Ruin. I think we go to the other one. We got more options over here. All right, regular fight. No more boss fight. Big fan of that. Guardian. Okay. If memory serves, that means that there's a radius. Yeah, so he has a radius. Once every 10 seconds, one of the guys that he spawns is going to have 100 extra health, and any Cylon unit attack inside the red line is 25 damage resist. All right, so let's set everybody up here and go to war. Okay, get him out of the field. Now murder him. Get him out of the little field where he's harder to kill, guys. There you go. Ooh, flak is ready. Hold on. Hold on. You guys can just pull back. I'm going to let the flak deal with... I'm going to let the flak start in on these guys. It's not going to be enough to kill him, but it's going to mess him up pretty good. Alright. Back off a little. One of these is a protector. That's the guy we have to kill. Because he heals the other clowns around him. There you go. Now kill this guy. Everybody dogpile him. Now dogpile the last one. There we go. Alright, now go to work. Yeah, we know. Apollos is getting shot at. It is what it is. There we go. Okay, and we're our first minute, so there's our big heal on the wolf. Big fan. Alright, let's get back to work. Actually, no, hold on. Okay. We are murdering things effectively. 45 seconds. Come back to mid for me, would you? Alright, the timing of this is going to be really good because right about the time these guys spawn in, our flak is going to be back. So we're going to be able to flak them on the way in. And there we go. Let's flak them. Ooh, we can't flak everybody, can we? Alright, so we're going to have to try and just flak the best we can. No, don't sweat. Don't swan into the flak, you dummy. It's all right. It's all right. We managed. Okay. 17 seconds. Almost there. Fracking toasters. They're everywhere, Abyss. So irritating. So irritating to have this many fracking toasters to kill, but we got to kill them all. We can't let any of the toasters live. Oh! Instant flak reload. There. My Exo's skill just triggered. The flak. I just fired the offensive flak and it came back right away. This is cool. This is cool. Because we're going to use it to help murder these guys. While we tag team these guys over here on the other flank. I'm gonna pull the wolf in, I think. Yeah, these guys keep getting heals. One of them is a healer. There we go. Kill this clown, please. Thank you. Now bring everybody in. Come on, boys. Everybody get aboard. It's time to go. Don't get left behind. And we're out. I agree, man. I mean, I'll be honest, as good as BSG is, I do honestly I think the Expanse is better. But BSG is really solid. I won't argue that at all. I can't argue that. All right. We're going to give 60 XP to the Botanical Cruiser because we need the supplies production. We're heading into the mid-game and our supply situation is getting pretty dire. Okay. Alright, we have a pilot. Let's see. Every time a Science Squad attack restores 20 hull points. This is actually pretty good if I swap him onto the Viper. I think right now he's on the Raptor. Yeah, which we're gonna level up. All units in a 28 target radius are instantly moved to the gun. That's pretty sexy. Glass cannon, my targeting system upgrade. The extra range is nice. Does he already has the heal, right? Yeah, he's got that passive heal. I love that passive heal. It's so good. Oh no, I got rid of the Raptor that had the passive heal. I sold that one. Still though, the range is good, I think. I like giving him the extra range. I do not want glass cannon. All units 20 times. Yeah, let's go glass cannon. I mean, let's go minor targeting system. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's far from the worst. Oh, the Viper gets an upgrade too. Sweet. What are we leveling up over here, buddy? I've got missiles. Nitro boost. First has a huge evasion and speed increase. Okay, so you can just jut across the battlefield. 15 damage every time it just plus 15% damage every time it destroys something. Or we just gain base speed. We're gonna go bloodthirsty, I think. I'm a bigger fan of passive skills in this game. I find that I get down into the weeds and I struggle to remember to use the activatable stuff. So that's just me. Nitro boost. Now, I will say Nitro Boost with the other guy's thing would be really good, because then it would be like every time I fired a missile, I'd get a heal. Every time I use this, I'd get a heal. I'm going to go Nitro Boost, because I'm going to put the other guy on here that gives him a heal every time he uses an activatable ability. Because I think... Yeah, that's all... Yeah, we're going to do that. And then all of this stuff will end up going to the Wolf, which is not bad. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. Okay, you go here. You're going to get this guy. And... Oh, not the Wolf. She's on the Wolf. That's right. Okay, you're going to get the Raptor. That's fine. You're going to get the Raptor. That's fine, too. That's certainly not bad. Yeah, 15% evasion on a Raptor is fine. Okay. Crisis is right in the middle of the sector. And I've got to do something about this bomb on my ship, or I can just ignore it. I think right now I'm going to ignore it. I can handle it. I got the hull. What's in the bar, ladies and gentlemen? The pause is so helpful, though. There's a lot going on. Supplies for Tilium. Or I can boost the CAG's morale or gamble scrap. I don't like any of these options. I really want to be able to try to... Oh, it's because my faction reputation is actually pretty good across the board right now. I'm gonna go... we need more Tilium. I want to get that done and out of the way. So we're gonna send the chief tech to go handle that. Excellent. Alright, she's gonna level up. She's a marksman. Breaching shot. Makes things frail. They take extra damage. Or we can... Yeah. We've already got her assigned to a gun. Breaching shot and extra range. We'll do breaching shot. That's fine. That seems okay. Max level over here. That's good. This guy is going to be getting... We're going to train him once. I want this bomb to go off. Yep. We have a crisis. A Cylon among us. Someone's here. It's one of you. It's one of you. It's a Cylon. You're a toaster. So now we've set up a post in the security center for you. Just you, Commander. You're the only one that can solve this problem for us. That's the protocol. Okay. So now we're in the security center. Could be anybody. Even somebody in CIC. We got to catch this traitor. So what's going to happen is... Ginger is not a Cylon. I'd have figured that out by now. So what's going to happen is every few turns of action, there'll be another bomb go off in the fleet, basically, until we solve this problem. So now I have a new area to spend time in between missions. The way this works is... There are 4... Think of it like a logic puzzle, okay? Who did logic puzzles as a kid? Right? The little logic puzzle grids, right? The little check marks until you can finally whittle down, right, the solution. That's what this is. This is a logic puzzle. So as you discover clues, you're going to figure out where people are suspicious or everything's kosher. There will always be two heroes that you can start to see are your suspects, and then eventually you'll have to spend supplies and time figuring out who that is, narrowing it down. So, Thrawn would kill all of them. Well, then Thrawn would be running his ships by himself, and we don't have that luxury. So once per... I'm skipping through all this and I'm explaining it to you. There's always the summary card back here, guys. But here's the deal. Once per sector, I can come in here and click a row, and it's gonna give me any 3 clues in that entire row. So we'll just say fleet record. So there we go. My original crew, my XO, my CAG, and my Chief Tech all have a clean fleet record. So what's going to happen is eventually as this table fills up, anybody with 3 green check marks is clean. Anybody with less than 3 green check marks still has the possibility of being a Cylon. And once you find them in the fleet, once you identify them, there's a whole other list of things that can happen, and we'll see how that shakes out when we get there. Early on in the investigation, it costs a crazy amount of supplies to investigate things. Anytime for me to click on one of these buttons is 10 supplies, and all that's going to do is give me the green mark or the question mark or I don't know, it's inconclusive. And I have to click it. If it's green, then it's green forever. If it's orange, right, it can be green or orange. Orange is suspicious. If it's suspicious, I have to click it again to investigate, and that's even more supplies. As the investigation proceeds, you can see here we're at 15%. The cost for that will go down. So as this number crosses 40%, manually interrogating things will cost 5 supplies. So in the mid-game, you need a lot of supplies to work through this investigation. You'll face this every run you have. You will always have to investigate the Cylon in the fleet. Always, always, always. All right, speaking of supplies, man, that's not amazing. Over here, I want to finish up my crisis, because I've got another crisis coming soon. So why don't we get Douglas some XP and say, congratulations. Why don't you knock that out for us, buddy? Awesome. Fantastic. We now have a suspect. Let's go get him, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, did we get him? For 2 supplies. And what could be a whole bunch of fleet health, but I'm willing to make that trade. I don't have the actions to burn right now. Okay. Sweet. We caught the murderer. No taters. MechWarrior 5 is going to be Thursday night, like it always is. But this may be Monday nights for a while. It's Memorial Day here stateside. I can stream in the middle of the day. Ginger's in grad school still, right? Her class schedule for the summer is not settled yet. And as that figures out, it looks like I'm going to be able to stream on Monday nights. So this may be Monday nights for a while. Okay. So they sent us some liquor as a thank you for catching the murderer. What are we going to do with it? We could give it to the farmers, or we could give it to the Marines. The hell with that. It's ours. We spend a bunch of supplies solving this problem. That's our booze. It's our booze. We're 100% keeping that booze. All right, what's our crisis? Microwave oven custom kitchen. Oh, I got that reference. Something's fracking with our people. A bad batch of fumarole, we thought, or a rook chamala grower, whatever that even means. It's getting worse. Bar fight, sickness, social disorder. People are going crazy. Okay, hold on. Tell me from the beginning. 4 days ago, 2 dozen patients with sudden migraines, 1 doctor. Somebody lost their patience. It got weirder from there. People hearing voices. Spaced out junkers. Old friends trying to kill each other. Sounds like a swirl and twist of overstretched meds, bad ambrosia, and common fatigue. Nothing a crate of stims and some drugs won't cure. With all due respect, Madam XO, you'll be... Oh, I see what you did there, Ventnor. I see what you did there. With all due respect, there's a pattern here of rapid onset mycosis indicative of a singular cause. These people might be suffering brain damage from local radiation. We could treat the symptoms, but a few upgrades to spectroscopy in the R&D lab would let us pinpoint the source. So we can skip it We can bypass it and spend 40% extra supplies on everything, which we don't really have. Or we can take 30% to all fleet health losses until we solve this problem. We pretty much have to solve it. But it's telling me we have to upgrades in the R&D lab. I feel like that's telling me I'm going to have to upgrade the med bay. Hull reinforcements. That's fine. I'm happy to do that. Hull reinforcements? Yes, please. And I have the scrap. Let's go. Okay, so that's done. So the R&D's lab's upgraded. We've detected a microwave pulse. Exposure to radiation would be driving these people crazy. Well, then let's go solve this problem. We have to inspect the ship. Sure, we'll inspect the ship. I have 3 actions left on my heroes. And I have yet to hit the POIs here really hard. I'm going to spend some supplies and get this done. There we go. Crisis solved. I'm just that good, ladies and gentlemen. We solved the crisis. So now it's a question of... Okay, so some drug dealers caused all of this. Of course they did. Let's drop the charges. I don't really care. That's fine. Underworld can like me more. That's fine.
Just wait till Doc Cottle gets a hold of them.
Yeah, this is not Galactica, sweetheart.
Oh, well.
Yeah, no, you're not actually playing as Galactica.
Oh, well.
Your mission is to survive long enough to reach Galactica.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's actually a really fun game this way.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one, y'all.
Yeah. She's been sitting over there doing grad school work.
Yeah, well, not only that, but when I haven't been doing that, I've been playing STOs. So.
That's true. She's been playing a lot of STO. Let's go get some...
That's because there's a crappy learning curve for STO.
There is... It's not so much a learning curve as a learning cliff for STO.
Yes.
It's kind of a learning cliff.
It's like the cliffs of Dover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I have 3 hero actions left to spend. I do not want to spend these supplies.
Good luck and Godspeed.
Godspeed, I know, right? Okay, so we're gonna spend. Am I gonna spend Tillium on this? I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna spend a hero action on this because I don't want to lose this and I don't want to spend the supplies. It almost doesn't matter who we send because nobody's gonna level up. So, congratulations, you've been chosen. Well done. Go give some first aid. Awesome. You have been chosen. So, Stryker, I haven't watched the trailer yet, but the little blip that I read said that it's tied into the old Battletech cartoon. That the DLC ties into the old Goofy Falcons Battletech cartoon from the 90s. That's what I read somewhere. 2 hero abilities left. I mean, Pendragon, it kind of depends on the mission. I don't know. I don't play a lot of STO. I log in and do a lot. I love the Admiralty system in STO, right? But a lot of it is so far beyond me because it's so combo-y and understanding how the ship... There's too many stats. There's too much going on in that game for me to keep up with it. It's crazy.
Well, and...
Collect boxes you can't open? Yes.
Yes.
You have to pay to open.
Yes.
Loot, you have to pay to open.
My problem is that because I don't have top tier anything, warping in and killing the bad guys takes freaking ever, and I'm working on speeding that up, but it's painful.
All right, we definitely need the scrap. You're good. We definitely need the scrap. I've only got 3 actions left in this sector, so I got to be very deliberate here. I am not trading supplies for Tillium. I am not gambling scrap. I feel like the bar is going to get skipped this phase. Because there's just nothing here for me. I need the scrap. Either for upgrades or repairs. So we're going to definitely go get this scrap. Let's make this happen. Okay. Wonderful. Ugh, what do you want now? While taking inventory aboard Hippolytus, Navy officers found an old artifact dating before the Cylon War, a miniature celestial chamber. The military wants to scrap it, but the workers believe it should be preserved and have gathered enough supplies to buy it back. I've never seen this one before. Perhaps I think I sent them, or is this a way to test us? Anyway, we need to make a choice. Side with the Navy officers and scrap it, or accept the supplies. You know what? The military can be pissed at me. I want the supplies. I'm going to need them for my Cylon investigation. Okay, perfect. 2 actions left. So I have to prioritize here. I'm not solving whatever this is. This ship's just going to blow up on me or something. Nukes, supplies, or fate. The fate is probably just not going to happen. I just don't have the time for it. So I've got 1 hero action left. Let's make that extra nukes. 3 nukes is always a good pickup. You never know when you're going to need more nukes. And yeah, I don't know why I clicked this. I already decided I'm not doing anything in here. And then we're going to spend here for extra supplies. Yeah, I can't reveal him yet because I don't know who it is. So that's not happening for a spell. So let's just go spend a little bit of Tillium and go get some extra supplies. And now it should be fight time. Okay. What sector are we in? This is sector 6. So I've got... Okay, I've got 2 more full sectors for a boss fight. That's good. I'm going to need the time. Hashem is not in bad shape. This guy needs some repairs. This guy's going to eventually explode, probably. We're going to throw him some extra hull. Okay. R&D lab. Anything in here that I want to pick up? I kind of like the evasion. This would be good, although I should have done that before. I just clicked repair twice. More hull for everyone also does not feel like a terrible option. Man, I could pick up both of these basic upgrades very easily and still have a little scrap left over. Why don't we do that? I'm going to pick up the extra evasion and the med bay. Okay. Our civilian defense is what it's always been. This guy is too wussy, so let's get on with it. Now, we ought to be getting to a point soon where I'm going to run into a battle that I can't get past. Ooh, another hero. Yes, we're 100% going here. Thank you. I don't want anything to do with that other sector. So, potatoes. Personal opinion, I love this game. This is the first time I've ever played a game like this. Apparently, for what chat is telling me, this is a whole genre of games. It's new to me. I'm really enjoying it. I love the theme. I'm a sucker for a sci-fi game, especially a sci-fi game set in like a universe and a theme that I already enjoy. So I was pretty well hosed. If you want to, feel free to try the demo. The demo's very good. That's what I did. I started with the demo, and then decided I wanted to buy the game. And the game is only, I think it's only $20. Like, it's not outrageously expensive. This is not like a AAA $60 title, right? But what I like about it is it's got tons of replayability. If you're into like really like I love it. To me, this feels like a little bit like a strategy game. But there's so many things to unlock, so many different ways you can die, lots of different things to try, different ways to play. And so what I love about it is it's like I can just sit down. Like I'm thinking about this the other day. Like, yeah, I've now, after 10 or 11 runs, whatever, I've survived like 2 of them, and I've looked at it like this is a game that's probably always going to be on my PC. Even in a couple of years from now, I'm going to be like, I kind of want a little BSG. I'll spend the afternoon playing it, 3 or 4 hours, just sit down and play a game. So where does the term roguelike come from, Vladeshi? I've never heard the term before. I'm not familiar with it. Where does it come from? What does it mean when they say roguelike? Civilization is always on this PC. There will never be a day that I don't have Civilizations on my PC. I can just tell you right now. These infiltrators are irritating. They have a stealth ability that unless you attack them right as they spawn in, they'll just be able to stealth past you to whatever target they want. And then you have to go after them to hunt them down and murder them. They're so irritating. There we go. So letting them come to you is not always a great option. If you can go hunt them down and get them out here, it's way better. No, not you. Go get this guy. You're going to come here. So is XCOM like this? I've never played XCOM. All these years that I've been I've been a gamer. I've never played XCOM. I don't know anything about it. Rogue was a game that as you start on the beginning, every time the dungeon is somewhat randomly made for you to go through. Okay. A roguelike game with meta upgrades. Meta upgrades mean things that make you more powerful. Yes, so that's exactly how this works. Like, once you fail, it's like, okay, you failed, Sag. Then, as you have unlocked all of these various things that you've done along the way, I don't know if you've been seeing the little achievements popping up in the top right corner. Each one of those gives you fate. You, in between runs, you'll spend your fate on, like, bonuses, so the next time you start with extra resources or better loot or whatever. All right, we're murdering everything efficiently so far. Loving this. Yeah, you guys need to kill these infiltrators as soon as they show up, or they're such a pain in the ass. All right, take my Viper and go here. I will say this, guys, when you're doing your first playthroughs of this game, playing through it with... it's way easier to play through with a third squadron. Like, playing through this with only 2 squadrons is a real pain in the ass. Now, one thing that you guys are seeing, these asteroid fields, they provide a defensive bonus. You basically, when you fight from inside an asteroid, it's like fighting from cover. You're harder to hit, and when you are hit, the damage is absorbed. Like 80% of the damage is absorbed by the asteroids. So, fighting inside the asteroid fields is a huge advantage, and you've got to draw, like the Cylons end up in one, you've got to draw them out or you can't hit them. They really suck. You can shoot the big one, but boy howdy, you better not suck. And when you do that, you're kind of giving up the ability to defend your stuff. So I generally have not been after chasing one of these guys down. There is an achievement in the game for blowing up a base star, like blowing up a boss, but I have not done it yet. Okay. You guys get on the infiltrator. I'll have plenty of time to kill this raider. The infiltrators are irritating. They need to die every time they spawn in. The infiltrators have a very narrow window when they spawn in, and then that they're easy to kill, and then after that they stealth, and you can't touch them until they get to where they're going. They get to wherever it is they're attacking. Whoever it is they're attacking. All right, we're 10 seconds from being done here. I think we can probably safely bring everybody in but the Viper. The Wolf and the Raptor will take a while. Let's bring the Raptor in. I'm sorry, bring the Viper in. And we're out. See ya! Okay. A Shem would get more XP that would take it to max. I'm not going to do that. My CAG would get 15 XP, which is where we ended up going. Okay, sweet. Alright. I kind of don't care about the bomb. One of my squadrons got a promotion, though. What do we get? The Wolf gets a promotion. Love it. What are we picking up? 10 evasion for everybody who's within a certain radius, or he can short-range jump back, or he just gains max hull. He's already got 10 evasion, and max hull feels pretty good, not going to lie. He's already getting damage bonuses for this. This would make him very difficult to hit. Very difficult to kill. He'd have crazy evasion for basically everybody close to him. He's already at 43 evasion. And then he would, even if they could hit him, he'd have 20. He'd have a lot of damage resist. I'm going to try this. For a ship with a taunt, that feels like a really good mix of skills. Okay. I could really use this hero. Now, we're starting to get to the late game, which means there's now 2 crises in each sector, because why would they want to make it easy on you? We've got to start with security, because I want to try and clear up this Cylon problem quick as I can. Okay. So we know now that the XO is not a Cylon, because 2 of these, as soon as you hit, actually, that's not quite correct, but we're over the 30% mark on the investigation, so because that's something. Now, generally, you can get other clues at the bar. Yeah, here we go. Here's some rumors. Supplies for Tillium, no thank you. Not right now. Play Pyramid. Actually, I may come back to that one, because I can't get. Oh, I can get Tillium in this sector. I can get Tillium in this sector. That's good. Let's promote this guy. What do we got? Carry on. Every time he destroys an immune, he might get scrap. That is such a great ability. 100%. Okay. I kind of want a hero. Let me look at something real quick. You need 15 for a promotion. You need 22 for a promotion. 15 for a promotion. 14. So no, I'm not gonna be able to promote anybody this time. That's fine. Yikes. I think I'm going to send the CAG out to pick up another hero. Yep. I might send him to defuse this bomb. We'll see. Richard Meyer. What a great name. Heals 1. Oh, that's kind of sexy. Like that. I'll tell you what. Congratulations. Since you get free heals, why don't you go defuse this bomb for me? Oh, you got wounded. Oh, I don't care. You're just going to get healed later. Lost civilians. A civilian shuttle peeled away from the fleet and disappeared. They wanted to help. We don't know where they were. Now they're lost in space. I feel like there's a show about that. We should follow protocol, interrogate, explore the last known location. That's a waste of time. Sir, let me go find them. I'll miss some jumps. If anything goes wrong, no. We're going to do this the old-fashioned way. It's fine. I feel pretty good about that one. One of the knocks that I have against this game, it's a great game, don't get me wrong, but after you play through a few runs, you're going to see the same crises and the same opportunities again and again and again. It's highly repetitive. That's kind of the one gripe that I've encountered so far is I really wish they had a larger repertoire of pool of crises to pull from. I wish there was more interesting crises and opportunities to be available. Like every time that you get more influence, or the workers, or the military, the underworld gets more influence over the fleet, you get the same opportunities every single time at every level. It's always the same thing. And that's not just bad. It's not good or bad. I just wish there was a little more imagination, let's say. All right, we got to interrogate people, and we got to explore the sector. So let's interrogate people, because that's only 2 supplies. Now, we are going to have another crisis here in just a minute. And let's explore. I've only got 2 POIs in this sector, so I can actually spend some hero actions on this. Congratulations, you have been chosen. Yep. You're exactly right, Grant. It will all happen again. Okay, so now we've discovered what happened to them, but the trick is that now we've got a little side mission to go do. There's a little side jump we have to do to find them. A side mission. A hacker in our midst. Initiating FTL calcs. Okay, we want to be prepared next time we're found. And that's bad. What is happening? Main computer has been hacked. As long as it remains hacked, jumps will cost us more Tillium. We need to find a system backup. We can find them on colonial structures. Why don't we just reboot the whole system? That will disrupt the entire R&D lab. So for 2 sectors, I can pay extra for R&D upgrades, or we can spend extra Tillium for our FTL jumps until we solve this problem. We're about to go pick up 6 Tillium, so I'm okay doing this for now. Because what's going to happen is, how do we solve this? Resolve a structure POI. Well, I don't have a structure POI in this sector, but we are going to go pick up 6 Tillium real quick and get that done. So anytime a hero takes an action to do something, any kind of I helped defuse a bomb, I went on a POI investigation, whatever, they always get XP. Always, always, always. You always get something. Let's do this medical history investigation one. Anytime you get the chance to spend an action cleaning up things out of your investigation and ticking boxes in here is a good time. So, for the first time, we've now found something that's suspicious. There's something suspicious in my CAG's medical history. Doesn't mean he's a Cylon. It means there's something here that's worthy of investigation. Okay, I think I'm going to take the side jump now. I should be ready to go. What does this guy do again? He just heals. Okay. So let's jump. I got plenty of Tillium now. Let's go pick up our friends. Now, these little side missions are basically just the Gunstar jumps in. None of the civilian ships go with you, and you have an objective. You can see it up here at the top left. Retrieve stranded civilians and bring them back. So what I have to do is all of these wrecked ships, I have to investigate all of them, looking for the civilians. You do that by taking a squadron and parking it nearby. No, stop. Okay, there we go. Now, some things, like the Raptor, can fight while they're parked, right? So he's going to park and be searching the ship while he's shooting things. Did we find them? Target acquired. So, we got lucky. The very first ship we searched had what we wanted. So now we're going to pull everybody back and get out of here. The little blue arrow tells me that I have what I want. And then bam, in the top left, bam, green. I've got exactly what I want. Everybody's safely aboard. And we jump out. Now, sometimes you have to search every ship. That time we got real fortunate. And then we have solved that crisis. Everybody's back safely aboard. There we go. So they screwed up and did dumb things. Nope, give me all those supplies. I don't care. You can talk, but I need every scrap of supplies I need to find a nasty Cylon saboteur in my fleet. So, F off. The underworld and the workers have been clashing over a crate of resources that's gone missing. Both sides are accusing each other of aiding the Cylon. It's stirring unrest across the entire fleet. We need to intervene. We stand with the underworld. Fine. So now the workers don't like me, right? There's that tense situation with the workers. We solved this crisis. Good work. You have good morale, but not excellent morale. Okay. I've got 3 actions left. I can't progress this one. I can't do anything with crises, and I've got 2 left. So let's stop this bomb. That would give you a chance to probably maybe grab a promotion. Sweet. Excellent. Okay, this is good. When the opportunities come up, I get irritated because you can't do anything until you click on the opportunity. We received an offer from the underworld. They want to help us with our high R&D costs. So in other words... But this guy, my dude with no squadron bonuses, has to go shoot down Cylons. Like, ugh. I don't know about this. That seems like a terrible idea. All right, this guy is a squadron pilot. What do we got? Storyteller. That's really good. Elite Hunter. Also very good. I have the possibility to gain scrap and fleet health every time I destroy a unit out of one guy. And XP. Oh, all of this feels awesome, guys. I'm going to go Storyteller. I mean, I'm kind of putting a lot of eggs in that basket, but I still like it. I want this scrap. XO, go get some scrap. Sweet. All right. Now, I think we're stuck under... No, I thought we were stuck under a nasty scrap penalty, but we aren't. So we need to repair some things. Let's look at the R&D lab real quick. One of these, yes. 100% bonus on repaired hull points. Yep, let's do that, please. That's worth that. Now let's do some more repairs. There we go. 600. Let's get you topped off. Excellent. Okay, so now I'm not done with things yet. I want to repair this guy. Do I want to repair this guy? Probably do. Yeah, let's repair him. Ugh. Do I want to try and kill 15 Cylons with a guy who has no squadron bonuses? That feels like a terrible idea. I'd have to put him in the Wolf. Alright, we're going to try it. I don't like this play. I don't like it a lot, but that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Okay. I should sell this advanced war room next chance I get. All of these squadrons are getting deployed every time I fight, so it's not doing me any good. Alright, we've done the bar, we've done the R&D, we've spent everything we're going to do, we've buffed up, everybody's got lots of health now. I think we are in good shape. Off we go. Alright, this is going to be the last jump of the night, guys. I'm going to have to log off after this. I got to go cook dinner. Luckily, we're not to a boss fight just yet. Alright, we got supplies, 2 Tillium, and fleet health, or Trader Beacon, Tillium supplies, and scrap. I like the Trader Beacon. We're going to go here. This should be just a regular fight. Fingers crossed I won't get murdered. Alright, I gotta destroy 15 Cylons with the Raptor. That ought to be doable. Alright, let's get to work. We got Cylons to kill, baby. These missiles are going to be super annoying. You can see my little scrapper guy racking up scrapper kills. I love that. Go kill this sniper for me. And I'm going to move this guy up and let him start in on the heavy raider. Yeah, Hippolytus caught a stray. He'll manage. Alright. Tempest or missile boats. Go ahead and taunt this guy while you're here. You go ahead and get back here and start killing things. Sweet. How we doing? Already got 5 kills with my Raptor. Love this. Now, Tempest will zone in and start firing missiles. So we're going to try and kill them quick as we can. Go kill this guy, and take this guy, please. And you're going to be on this guy. Actually, no. Get over here. We're going to swap these around. Seven of 15. This is good. Ooh, Viper's getting beat up. Don't care for that. Yeah, don't care for that at all. Don't have a heal on that guy. I had a run at some point. I had heals on like everybody, and it was awesome. Don't have that right now. Okay, we're at 9 of 15 on this guy. We fired 2 missiles at the wolf. Don't care for that. Love it. Everything's dying. I love it when everything dies. Kill the sniper. Go after the elite heavy. Kill the sniper. Okay, this is either going to be a nuke or a flak burst. We're going to clean this mess up, and then I'm going to get these guys pulled back. See how they want to play it. Alright, where are we going? Do I want to spend a nuke on this? How many nukes do I have? Oh, I don't have my nuke launcher loaded. Oh, well, then we're going to be some flak. There we go. All right, so we have completed that mission. Yay. Okay. Challenge guy is done. He did 15 kills and he got it done, so that's good. I don't have to let him rot out here anymore. Now, the heavy raiders are going to be irritating. I don't want to send the Viper out there. You know what we're going to do? Let me... Flak's not available just yet. No. Pull back the Viper. I'm going to hold the wolf in close. Let these heavy raiders spawn in. Then we're going to hit them with some missiles. Okay, here we go. Viper has some homing missiles. Take one here. Fire on this guy. And fire on this guy. Actually, no. Give me the homing missile here. That's the guy that's trying to kill him. Do this and that. Go get a sniper. Go get these snipers. Nine seconds left. All right, we just about got this licked. Let's go. Get everybody aboard. Actually, no. Go get this guy. And I'll use your nitro boost to get back to the ship. Yay, nitro boost. And we're out of here. Solid win, baby. Solid win. All right. So we can give 30 XP to the Viper. We can give 15 XP to the Chief. It's not going to quite get her to max level. Or we can take the extra safe turn. I like the extra safe turn. Big fan of that one. All right, guys. There we go. All right, and we got this done. So now for 2 rounds. So for 2 turns, I think we've got 20% off of our R&D upgrades, which is kind of sexy. Yeah, let's look. What is it? It's 15% for 1 sector. Okay, that's fine. So if I can rack up enough scrap, and I've got 200 scrap, so any R&D bonuses I want to buy in this sector are a little cheaper. Hull reinforcements and fleet logistics would be good. I could actually afford the 3rd weapon dock if I wanted. That's maybe not a bad idea to keep that nuke launcher available because I have plenty of nukes now. I got 8 nukes in the bank. This is going to be a boss sector. So I need to get prepped for this battle one way or another before we jump in, but I've got an extra turn to do it. And let's see what's for sale over here. Ooh.
You did. You
Mythic with the
crazy
resub.
son of a bitch, you did.
Oi! How you doing? Okay, so status effects are increased. Kinetic Accelerator is a really good one. I've had that one before. I've also got the Defense Gun. This is another one. I have not seen this one previously. Automatic fires at random in range for 10 seconds. 125 to use. So again, that says things get close. I'm not a big fan of this one. This EMP missile launcher all it does is leave behind a stun, and I'm like, yeah. All units within 250 feet from the Gunstar are forced to target it for 20 seconds. That actually has some appeal as well, as like a last-ditch thing, but I'll be honest, the defense gun might be kind of decent. Random enemy units for in range. Because sometimes you get a lot of guys that break through to the Gunstar, right? They just target the Gunstar. The other thing is, you know, if you combine this with this, you combine these two together, you could force them to come to the Gunstar and then murder them with the defensive guns. Like, that might be kind of cool, too. That kinetic accelerator looks pretty appealing. I'm going to sell this war room, but I think right now, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call it. I got to go cook dinner and everything. So, yeah, guys, we're going to hang it up there. What I expect we'll be doing for a spell is doing this one on Monday nights for a while. I'm going to mute this so you're not hearing the music in the background when we're out of that screen for a second. Hang on a minute. I'm going to you and then do the thing and there. And then do that. There we go. Awesome. So, probably we'll be doing this one on Monday nights for a spell. I'll work that out with Ginger. Don't worry about me. But where we left this campaign, there she is. Where we left this campaign is where we're going to pick it up next Monday. I'm playing this campaign only on stream. I'll have a whole separate one for just stream. Well, I like showing them because we haven't died yet.
No.
Which the first time I played this game, I didn't make it this far.
Don't jinx yourself.
The first time I played this game, I did not make it this far, and I learned very quickly that I've learned a lot. Let's put it that way. So
I look horrible, y'all.
you look fine. Is there the possibility we survive we make it on our first run? There's the possibility. Is it likely? It is not likely. It is not likely. So you're going to have to tune in next Monday night to find out. I'll put that on the schedule, and you can let me know if I need to move that around because of your class schedule. We're
actually doing Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
But Thursdays I will take my laptop and...
Okay. Okay, perfect. Well, Vladeshi, the VOD will be available. You can come watch me. You can come watch the Toasters murder me because it's going to happen. I guarantee it's going to happen sooner or later.
They're vicious like that.
They are vicious. They want all of humanity dead. They're kind of jerks like that. So yeah. So say we all. Great stream, guys. Thanks for being here. I love this game. Definitely go check it out. At a minimum, the demo's free. Go try it for yourself. Decide for yourself. If you don't like it, you've lost nothing but time. You've lost nothing but time. You haven't spent any money.
And then you can tell him he has horrible taste.
And you can tell me I have horrible taste. And if you do like it, hey, it's only $20. Like you haven't lost. You probably spend that on coffee every week, right? So like, you're out some Starbucks. You'll be okay.
I mean, it's not like any other title out there that's like $70 right now.
There's quite a few of those, yeah. Now, I want to see if there's anybody else out there streaming this thing that I can raid into. I'm betting not, but I'm going to go look because you just never know. You just never know. There we go. So I'm probably nope. There is one. No, I am the only poor schlob streaming this right now, which is sad. Makes me sad, but I understand. So no raid, I don't think. Or let's see, is there anybody else out there worth raiding into? Anybody else I know? I see High Fire's doing boats. I see Captain Honor's doing boats. Zath will be on later. Chomp's probably doing unlimited. We'll go through. Oh, Thurbach's raising money for Stack Up. Oh, we'll go raid Thurbach. Guys, if you're on Twitch, we're going to be throwing you a raid over to Thurbach47. He is a Warship streamer, an awesome dude. And he is going to be, he's doing some fundraising for Stack Up, a charity that I've done some work with before. So go hang out with him. And if you are so inclined, feel free to donate. There we go. Raid is up. Everybody else, I hope to see you next week. In the meantime, peace. And, don't piss off any toasters. That's bad for your health. I'll see you guys later.